Yo, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. It's time for another edition of Fix It Friday. Hopefully, your guys' week was good. Yeah, I am in a bit of a debacle here on my alt. So, we have 9 hours left in the Craft Your Best Gear Part 2 event. And I am... Oh, actually, I'm closer than I thought. I thought I was, like, really far off claiming the equipment. Apparently, I think I just need to finish my dailies and I'm done. I literally just, like, farmed a bunch of, like, Rift on, like, auto all morning while I was doing other stuff, and I guess apparently it paid off. Yo, what's going on, Brad? What's going on, Rastafaris? How's everyone doing? So I guess I will actually be able to get this done. Go me! We might have actually figured it out. Wait! Wait! My defense won? Wait! Dude, I got Challenger for the first time on this account? With my defense? Bro, my defense is trash! I haven't changed my defense in like months! What is my defense even? Bro, how? How? Bro, he ain't even on gear! He ain't even on gear! How? It doesn't make it make sense! Make it make sense, bro! I don't even know what to say to that. Okay, there's a when I show you this candy, you're gonna be like, ain't no way. Bro, you're like, yo, there's a candy. There's a candy. It's 100 effectiveness candy. What do you mean? What do you mean understandable, Rastafaris? It's a 100 effectiveness Navy Captain Landy. Man. If it can counter, it can win. Alright, you know what? That's probably true.
You may try to defy me.
Only 6 more days, guys. Can we believe it? MLTU, just 6 days. Wow, MLTU, just 6 days away. Yo, this guy's the real MVP, bro. Level 1 skeleton guy, I salute you.
Sure.
Boys, how do we feel about Domino's stuffed crust pizza? Wait, that's a thing now? Oh no, this is how you know I'm starting to get to the point where people are like actually real, because like I have to deal with nonsense like this.
Radiant light.
Like there's a Harsetti. I haven't seen a Harsetti yet. Dude, I only won that because of Landy. That's too funny.
Is it my turn?
Oh, Divine with the tier list. Top video game consoles. Okay. I see you, homie. Hold on. Let me make sure that, is my web browser actually working here? No, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay. We got the right scene. Alright, so Divine starts our Friday stream off strong with top video game consoles tier list. They say it is stuffed with pizza cheese, so go figure. No. Alright. This is actually, this could be fun. While people are coming in for Fix It Friday, this is a good way to kill like 10 minutes. Alright. PSP. Alright. Divine, I need to know. Do I have to talk about the console as is, standalone? Or can I talk about it in the context of how good of a value it is for the consumer if you could mod the shit out of it? Because that's a big one for the PSP. Like, I need to know, can I talk mods or no mods? Both? Okay. So PSP, right? As a console, low A tier. If we're talking about just the console standalone. If you talk about modability, right? If you talk about what you can do with this console mod-wise, it's S tier. Like, high S tier. I still have a PSP, right? Actually, in my desk drawer in my room, because I basically turned it into a portable PlayStation 1 / Super Nintendo. I literally have a ton of Super Nintendo games on it and a bunch of PS1 games on it. I have Breath of Fire 3, I got Xenogears, I got Final Fantasy 8, right? Like, I have a whole bunch of stuff on my PSP. It is super slim, fits in your pocket, amazing battery life, like, just amazing console all around. Xbox, original Xbox. I'm gonna give it a B. Right? And the reason is, I think Xbox Live, like some of the stuff that's on here, like CVS 2, I still think the Xbox version of CVS 2 is the best version of the game. Right? I think Dead or Alive, well, that's 360, but say like Dead or Alive 3, you know, was a good game. This game is largely carried by Halo and some of the early Xbox Live consoles. Is this a Jaguar? I can't tell what this is. So I can't tell what that actually is. So I actually am gonna, I think this is Jaguar. I can't tell what it is. Let me check something real fast, chat. That's not it. I'm just making sure. Is this the Jaguar? Nah, okay. I think this is the Jaguar, right? No, it's not the Jaguar. The Jaguar is actually one of these other ones, but yeah. So we're just gonna, I actually don't know what this is. We're just gonna throw it in the trash. Is this Atari? Yeah, this one's an Atari. I'll be with you. I'm gonna put the Atari in C. Right? My dad has a lot of the older consoles. My dad was a gamer, so I've gotten to play pretty much all of the other consoles. Atari is mad overrated, dude. Like, I don't see it on here, but he has a system. He has two systems. He has one called the ColecoVision, and the other is the Intellivision, and they are like just infinitely better than the Atari 2600. PS3. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna put PS3 in and see. I know that's going to really, really piss some people off on this. I know Divine probably like, no way, bro. I think the PlayStation 3 is the worst console that PlayStation has ever put out. I didn't buy it. I felt like I didn't miss a beat because unless you wanted to play Uncharted, right? You missed nothing by owning a PS3. You missed literally nothing by owning a PS3. It was literally an Uncharted machine. Every other game, and we'll just shortcut ahead here. Every other game that you could possibly want was a better version of the game on the Xbox 360. It had better exclusives, same third-party stuff, better online ecosystem. Just like the 360, in my opinion, is one of the greatest consoles of all time. Like its library is just end to end fucking stacked. Right? Like this console, you could just backlog everything on this console. It just has so much. Nintendo Switch. Me personally, I think it's an A, but I'm gonna give it the S. I think handheld market, like it has a lot, right? You know, I'm gonna stick to my guns. Like, I personally think it should be A. I think most people here would say it's an S, right? My thing about the Switch, great library, lot of great titles. Problem for me, Steam Deck does almost all of it better, and most of the games that are exclusive to the Switch that I would want to play, such as like your Fire Emblems, your Smash Brothers. Well, Smash Brothers not so much. Surprisingly, that runs pretty well. But like Bayonetta 3, I bought the collector's edition for Bayonetta 3. Straight up, it runs like garbage. The hardware is just not good. GameCube, I'm gonna give it a B. I call it the Melee machine. There's not enough exclusives on the GameCube for me to actually like really recommend it. The first party support on this console is great, but other than that, it's a trash console. Oh, okay. Oh, Divine, you want me to get in the chat, dude? Oh, okay. I will get in the chat, dude.
Foolish way.
Okay. Divine wants to debate me before we get into Fix It Friday. Man wants to get on my case.
Okay, so let's just get a couple things clear here before we go into full insanity, okay? The Switch is the third best-selling console of all time.
Yep.
And is on track to become the first.
Yep.
Very easily.
Yep.
And
I think this should. I'm saying this probably should be an S. I'm a hater, bro. I personally.
Okay. So here's my problem with this. You can't sit here. No,
it's my too, bro.
You can't sit here and be a fan of Zenless Zone Zero. You can't sit here and be a fan of half of the gacha games you play and not recognize that without the Switch, you don't get Breath of Wild, which means you don't get Genshin, which means that industry literally doesn't exist in the way it does.
Fine, I'll give it S. Okay, god damn, bro. Well, the problem with the
compensation, you could put GameCube. You could put the GameCube in C. I'm not gonna flex with you. If it's only there are great games on the GameCube. But the problem is that no one has it, and I think the big problem with the GameCube is that the controller has killed my ability to play with anything else for the rest of my life. That controller was better than the console.
It was, yeah.
And most like the GameCube runs into the same problem the Wii U has, where it's just like the console wasn't the best, but all of the best games are trapped on it. But they then eventually get moved over. So then you sit there and you're like, why would I want a GameCube when I could get a Wii?
All right, let me like power through the rest of these because I know some people are like waiting here to get to the thing. All right, I'll give you my so GameCube. Only the Sonic games are worth playing on this console.
I think. Well, I didn't say all that. There's Mario Party 4, 5, and 6.
When I say GameCube, I meant Game Gear. Game Gear.
Okay. I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
All right. N64. I'm gonna give it an A, and I think that might be a little high. But the thing is, some of the greatest games of all time are on this console. Mario 64, in fact, right?
The greatest game of all time is on there, yeah.
Yeah, Mario, like the first party lineup from N64, right, is just unreal. Like, unreal. How hard, like, the problem with the N64 is that all the third-party titles suck, which is what I think holds it back from truly being great.
You get Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. And Banjo-Kazooie.
NES, I can't...
Bad Fur game.
I gotta give NES S tier. This is the console that made me, like literally made me, because I grew up poor and my parents were never home, so I always just had to play on a hand-me-down NES, and straight up, like, this console, the games of this console are so fucking hard. If you've never played any of the old school NES games, they're so hard. I remember my dad got me like an old beat up NES from a garage sale when I was a kid, and he was like, yo, like, if you could beat some of these games, like that's it. I'm not gonna buy you any more like toys or video games until you could beat the stuff you've already got, right? And so he gave me an NES as a kid, and he gave me, with the NES, Silver Surfer. I literally was not allowed to get a Super Nintendo or like an N64 or any of these other consoles until I beat the NES games that my dad gave me as a kid. I had to beat Silver Surfer as a kid.
And then you had to beat your dad in Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. Alright, I just want you guys to know, hardest NES games of all time, bro. All fucking time. Literally all time. My dad gave as at the age of 7. My dad gave me a fucking death sentence as a birthday gift. Like, I was forged in the fires of hell by this console. So I'm not gonna give it GOAT status, but man, I think this is the 3DO. 3DO is trash. I'm gonna keep it a butt. Genesis. B. Outside of the Sonic games and a couple other titles, there's not too much great going on here. Like Comic Zone. There's some bangers on here.
Tell Sue is a Sonic fan for how many times he's now went, okay, so this console, you just pick it up for the Sonic games.
Yep. I actually don't know what this is. Is this the Stadia? I don't even know what the fuck.
I can't see.
That's the Ouya. Now? You want me to?
That's the Ouya.
The Ouya? Rastafaris, if you want, I'll do it. Like, I'm not even messing with you. You guys want to, tomorrow night, bro, you want to see me just stream Silver Surfer? I'll do it. I'll do it. PlayStation 1, GOAT status. Right? GOAT status. Actually, not even bullshitting. I know PS2 is like best-selling console all time. PS1's better. Better library. Not keeping it a stack. Better library. There are better games in the PS1 than the PS2.
Should I be triggered that he refuses to put a Nintendo console in GOAT status?
No, alright. Dreamcast. Dreamcast. Despite only having like 100 games, like 70 of them are incredible. I'm not messing with you. I think Dreamcast is one of probably the most underrated console all time.
Yeah, we see this, right? I'm not the only one.
Trash. Sega Saturn, B. Actually, I'm gonna put it in C. I think GameCube is better. I think it's pretty bad. The only game I ever really liked on the Sega Saturn was Knights. That's about it. GameCube, or I say GameCube, Game Boy. Now you know what? I'm gonna give this one the S. I'm gonna give Game Boy the S.
Yeah, we see this, right? We see.
Stop!
I don't have to say anything.
Stop!
I don't have to say anything, right?
Stop! All right, there's a reason why. So Game Boy, great games, right? Great games.
Miyamoto must have punched this
Trash.
guy as a child, just in the teeth.
This is Xbox One, right? Trash.
Hold on. Before you move on, I just have to remind chat: the Game Boy survived the Afghanistan War. I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
In the Nintendo Museum.
Stop.
There's a Game Boy that survived a bombing. I just want to put that out there. That's how hard
Virtual Boy actually gives you migraines from playing it. Trash.
Yeah.
All right. PC, obvious. PC Master Game Race. I would argue it's the default way to play video games in the current modern year. If you are not a PC gamer, I don't know what you're doing. Wii U, actually also trash system. Only two good games on the whole console. Smash 4.
No, there's way more. There's way more. I'm sorry to say that's a cap.
Okay, I didn't like any of them. You're gonna tell me it's like Trauma Center or something. I'll be like, no, I'm good. SNES, GOAT status. And not only is it GOAT status, it is probably the single best console ever made. I think it is the best console ever made.
It doesn't. But the Wii U has Splatoon.
What?
Wii U has Splatoon.
Wii U has Splatoon.
Wii U has the start of Splatoon.
3DS also GOAT status. Both of these right here. These are the two best handheld consoles ever made. 3DS and Game Boy Advance from a purely out of the box standpoint. I want
to let you know. I want to let everybody know. I acknowledge this guy hates Nintendo, but him saying the 3DS is the best handheld console when we are 3 away from the Vita, which might as well be a historic biblical tale of how much the Vita was good and how much it was set up to fail. I just want to say that.
Okay, so PS2, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. We're going to skip on stuff. PS2, best-selling console of all time. I don't think I have to defend this one as S tier. PS4, A tier. I think it has a significantly better library than the PS3. It's actually worth it.
PS4 has Gravity Rush. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean PS3.
No, PS4 has Gravity Rush.
3DS, S tier. Like just base one. 3D, like this one is better than the base DS, right? Like, so DS, S tier, 3DS, GOAT status, right? All right, now these last two. The Wii, if you buy it stock, B tier. And I know it's like second best selling console all time. B tier, out of the box. from a pure consumer modability standpoint, GOAT status. Like, the stuff you can do with the Nintendo Wii, like, if you could jailbreak a Wii, it does, like, literally fucking everything. It is actually, like, I hacked the hell out of this console, dude. I ran everything off my Wii. All of it. Anything you could think of, I ran it on this thing.
Just a reminder, the last Wii game came out in 2019.
Yeah, and so, like, for, like, I actually made my own mods and ran them off the Wii. Like, I programmed my own shit and ran it on the Wii. Like, you can run whatever you want on the Wii. It's busted. And by that metrics also, if we're talking about the Vita, as it stands, out the box, A tier. If we talk about modability of the Vita, GOAT status. Like, straight up. Like, my Vita, I have it modded to hell and back, bro. I have everything on it. Like, literally, when I travel, I take the Steam Deck, I take the Vita, right? I literally bring a wireless mouse, a foldable keyboard, the Steam Deck, and the Vita. And literally, from that, I can do all of my gaming, all of my streaming, like all my watching, like Netflix, Crunchyroll, whatever, and I can do all of my work.
Okay, all right.
Those four handholds.
Now, for me to be Phoenix right here for 2 seconds, once again, I'm turning to you, chat. I'm appealing to the audience, okay? I need you to recognize, Sue both said there is no point in having a Switch because of the existence of the Steam Deck, but
You're
also,
right.
if you have the Vita, you don't need anything else. I rest my case.
All right.
Jury, I'll let you take it from here. I'll let the jury take it from here.
All right. If we're keeping it 100 a stack, Steam Deck, right? If you're not afraid to hop aboard Monkey D. Luffy's ship, it literally does everything the Switch does, but better. I'll leave it at that. I'll let you elaborate on that, but I'm just saying, it is a better Switch. It is a better Switch.
If you want the game developer to get on stream and to say, I believe I'm good to sing the One Piece theme, I'm afraid I physically can't.
Yep. Look, all I'm saying, okay, that's a death sentence, so we're not gonna do that. All I'm saying is, like, you know, if you're willing to risk jail time, then you know, maybe Fire Emblem Engage does work a little bit better on Gaben's machine.
Hey man, I'm also gonna go ahead and say that, you know, I too like playing new games and all that, but I also consistently sit in the point of, like, if I don't pay for it, it's not gonna happen, right? If I don't,
I'm a big believer of, if you love it, you should support it with your wallet.
Yes, I mean, that's why we didn't get another Deus Ex, right? Unfortunately, even though that game franchise is amazing.
It is amazing.
The original and the modern game.
I never played the original. I only played Human Revolution. Good game though, yeah.
Human Revolution still was good, yeah.
Man, they don't make games like that anymore.
They don't make a lot of games anymore. Well, they're starting to bring them back. There's the new Radapon that's coming out.
I see. Hey guys, we did it. We did it, boys. With Check's watch, 9 hours, 19 minutes to go. My alt account finally finished. It finally finished the craft event. Let's go.
Hallelujah.
So there you go. If you're wondering why I took the boots as is like this, it's so I could use it on a bruiser or an attack scaler. I didn't have to choose. This is the most generic boots you could take for an account that doesn't know what the hell it's trying to do yet. Well, that was fun.
Yes. Next time I'll do the version that covers VR consoles, so we can all pretend that we know what VR is.
All right, so I think we try and do that tomorrow day. I think that would be fun. Like, I don't know. I feel like people would want me to do Wheel of Misfortune, but if people want me to suffer through Silver Surfer again, I'll try. I can't guarantee you I'll beat it, but I'm fairly confident I could at least make it to Galactus. The Galactus levels. It's like the equivalent of like the Wily levels in Mega Man. Now you RTA with the alt? No way, Jas. Dude, this account is not it, bro. It cannot do that. All right, we did that.
Speed machine. A couple imprints and you're good to go.
Yeah. All right. Have to like go park myself in some kind of spot to farm. Guess we go on to part 3 of this. Please trust me. Oh no, I haven't donoed enough. Oh no, I have to get the Steady Supporter achievement. How do I do that? Ugh, I have to clear this more. I need to play Superman 64?
A nightmare.
I did not see it, Kalen. Can you show the tier list again? There you go.
Were you waiting? It's going to be okay.
I need to play Superman 64. I actually have played Superman 64.
And wail.
Like a lot of the stuff in like the N64, SNES, like NES era stuff, like I played all that because like my cousins and stuff like had it, and so like it was like old hand-me-down stuff that I got to play, right? Because it was like my parents weren't home, so it's like I was just at my aunt's all the time or like my grandmother's as like a kid, and so it was like, oh, well, what am I gonna do to keep myself busy? And so they had all these old Nintendo consoles, so I was like, I guess I'm gonna just play them all.
Cute. I want to torment you.
Also, Sue, did you ever in your life have an Atari handheld? There was an Atari handheld? I didn't know that, actually. Rustafaris asked me if I had an Atari handheld.
Oh, they're modern. They're like modern stuff. They make them now. Like, they make handhelds of the Atari games. I'm looking at the Atari 50 Pocket Player Pro. Yeah. It's only $40.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like really good stuff. Like, you know, even though I like Divine was shitting on me for not putting Nintendo as high, I think out of all of the console makers, they are the most consistent. Like, there are like, aside from the Wii U, there are no truly bad Nintendo consoles. Right? There are
we literally just finished shitting on the Virtual Boy.
Okay, there are 2 bad consoles. there are 2 bad consoles. Dude, the Virtual Boy, I remember the first time I got to try it was when I was in college. Like, my roommate was like, "Oh yeah, like, you know, my brother had one. I could bring it in from home so you could try it. It fucking sucks." And I was like, "Oh, it can't be that bad." I played it for like 20 minutes and I was like, get me out of here. Like, my eyes felt like they were burning. I had a headache. I was like, yeah, no wonder why people hated this thing.
You remember when Kid Icarus on the 3DS first came out and they had to put an accessory because people were breaking their hands playing that game?
I actually don't remember that, but that's a hilarious thing to think about.
People were giving themselves turbo arthritis because the game also had competitive online multiplayer. Yeah, I know you hate Nintendo, and I know
Sakurai is too funny, Joe. He put competitive multiplayer in Kid Icarus, but won't do it in Smash Brothers. Like, yo, this guy's such a troll.
That multiplayer was gosh darn insane, and as I said, it was highly competitive. It was one of those games where it was like, 20 people are always playing, those 20 people will always kick your goddamn ass. Now, I think your list is absolutely trash, but it appeals.
Oh, damn, my list was always going to be trash.
It's a list for your people. Everyone here loves your list. I understand. I'm a foreign man in a foreign land.
Yep. There's my list again, by the way. Just so you know,
sensibilities.
Matsumoto can go in A tier for consoles. No, that's just me taking it, twisting a knife. Like, Divine's not gonna agree with me on this, man. Look,
well, I mean, I think first of all, I think you need to put a lower tier list just to put the Oya in.
The Oya? I've never even heard of it, bro. I've never even heard of it. That's how bad it is.
The only game I could think of that anyone would even recognize as an Oya game is Towerfall Ascension, because it came to other shit. It was basically a home console that played nothing.
Yo,
I was
what-
about to say it played nothing. That's the best way to put it. It played nothing.
Yo, what is this? Tenebay submitted a character, like, in chat? It's just better than mine. Like, what the hell? Oh, okay, actually, I just realized the effectiveness is, like, 30 lower than mine. But, like, this is just, like, my Muna with, like, 500 more health.
Listen,
And
sometimes
10 more speed.
Sometimes you start on Fix It Friday, and sometimes you start on Flex It Friday. And this is...
This is ridiculous. Like, okay, these boots, all right, look, as much as I like Numa and Luna, these boots are not, these do not belong on this character. Like, I look at those boots and I'm like, tell me you've never played a tank before a day in your life without telling me that you've never played a tank a day in your life. Like, if you have these boots and they're not on Albedo, you're actually throwing. You're actually throwing if these are not on, like, Albedo or Crow. Right? Like, if Roz, Blue Crow, or Albedo, or Armin, Green Armin, are not wearing these boots, you're actually throwing. Like, I'm serious. Like, those are, like, 47% immunity boots. Like, what are you doing? But they're not OP like Muna. Yeah, okay, I got you. Like, look. I'm saying this against my better judgment because if Asmodeus or ATK was here, they would literally shove a spear through my head. Right? I am telling you, as, like, number 3 Luna fan, these do not go on Luna. Right? Like, if you are playing to win, these do not go on Luna. Like, unless you just don't play tanks. Like, if you just played 0 tanks, right? Then sure, they go on Luna. But if this was me and I looked at this Luna, I would be like, yo. Like, it's like you have 2 options. Best Luna world, or actually be able to play a frontliner. What is this? Volcanics posted? I'm winning. I mean, this is generic. This is basic, bro. This is basic. This is a basic Luna, bro. Nobody cares. What is this one? Oh, you have 2.
Damn, he said your Luna's basic. We just went from Fix It to Fuck It Friday. Screw you, Volk.
What is this, dude? Like, hold on. What the fuck is this one? What the hell is this? What do you play this in a Harseti for Guild Wars? Oh, Arena. Is this debate for Arena? Like, you put Luna on your defense and this is what it is? Yeah, let me know how that works out. I think this is mega cope for World Arena. I think this is like mega cope, Luna.
Oh, I try her into RTA sometimes. Let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I think that's Omega cope. All right, well, Pooty said something earlier about Valky. Just wait till I regear from my session with Valky yesterday. About what? Like, what are we regearing? Luna, Pooty? Is that a village Luna? Apparently. Yeah, I honestly, Volk, I'll be real with you. I think I would just put Etika Scepter on that Luna you had. You want Fumir already on it? That feels cope. I mean, I think, okay, maybe I'm just down on Keystones, right? Like, is that just me? I'll come back to Pooty's Teiyu in a second. Luna's one of them?
After last week's tournament, I don't think I want to see Tehu ever again.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like Keystones feels like Omega cope, right?
Keystones give you a push-up when like other
yeah,
elements.
Yeah, it's a 20% CR after every 2 ally turns, but like it literally is like then it's off cooldown for like 2 whole fucking cycles. So you're only realistically ever triggering it once. Luna's one of them? Like, are you re-gearing your Luna? Like, how are we re-gearing Luna? I mean, I'm starting to think maybe I need to move Luna to 290. I've been having her at 280, but I don't know. I've been winning with her, so maybe it's fine. It's reverse Warhorn? But like... No, Warhorn's persistent, though, throughout the whole match.
I think it is, I can't afford to give you Warhorn, so you get this instead.
Yeah.
Warhorn's on a better unit, so take this instead.
Yeah. We can chat about it later on. Lots to share with you. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Let's start actually getting into to the actual, like, build requests and stuff. So if you guys, like, haven't already, if you're on Twitch, ! Discord, post your stuff up in Fix-It streams. And then on YouTube, it is linked down in the stream description. This is the link to my Discord. Just submit a character that you want me to review on stream under Fix-It streams. Please, 1 character per person per stream. So like I said, we'll get into it now because I have about a little over 3 hours from now until I kind of have to bail. Like, I have to be out the door no later than like 4:15, 4:20 my time, which is like 3.5, like 3 hours, like 40 minutes or so. Right? Because after that, I have stuff I have to do for the rest of the day. I have to take care of. So that's why it is a earlier edition. What is the objective? Flex or gear help? Whichever you want. If you want to flex it, that's fine. I don't mind people flexing. But like, that is your 1 unit. Some people do a little bit of both. They flex their unit and just see if there's any, like, I could poke holes in it and see if there's anything wrong with it. But yeah. So here we are. We got the goal Tehu. All right, so Pooty once again first because he gets up at the crack of dawn. I combo this with Sea Phantom against Gaki players. What are great for GVG too with a little bit of bulk to take a straight hit. What is a Gaki? Do I know? Want to know? Do I know?
I think that's the shit Vix chat was yelling the entire tournament. I still don't remember what it is.
Gaki is ML Lua? Like, is it because she's... Is it... Like...
Is that like a certain subsect of like...
Like, are we talking about like Mesugaki?
Oh.
Like,
It's a V2? I don't know, bro.
No, man. Like, Gaki is, it's like, you're like a shitty brat, is what it like, that's what you're calling her. Like, dude, that's cringe. That's cringe, dude. I know Gaki is a brat, but like, it's just like, that's so cringe. Like, alright, guys, like, we're adults, right? Like, me, if I have to be the one to tell you that's too fucking weeb, that's too fucking cringe, then we have a problem. That's like super cringe. Just say I use her against Lua. Right? Like, come on. I think you can blame Valky for this. I don't know, Divine. You go have a talk with Valky.
Hey.
I think Valky would come back to me and be like, what are we talking about here? Of course we can call her cocky. Paying money for games is cringe, but here we are.
We're sailing that pirate ship hard today, huh?
Yeah, apparently, dude. Where's my straw?
Sails
Do I have
are
the straw?
up, the mast is at full blast.
Hey, bro. Dude, oh my god, dude. Where's my straw hat? I'm a weeb and that's too much. I thought Gaki sounded cute without knowing what it meant. Well, now you know. It's basically a shitty brat. It's like, yeah, so that's the whole thing. It's like somebody said it's a VTuber thing. It's not, you're not wrong. Like, it is like a subsection of that culture where it's just like, oh. But like, saying that you like Gaki characters carries the same energy as saying like, guys, like Frida is my waifu, or like, you know, I like Alencia. No, it's not quite that bad, but it's like, it has that same energy. It's just like, you can literally feel the FBI agent going like, right, like at the moment, like taking their heads off, going like, what are these guys doing? Yeah. So now you know. Anyways, back to the actual like review at hand. This seems pretty high gear score. Like, I think this is actually really high attack for Teiyu. Like, the times I remember him being played, like 2800 was like enough. Like, Teiyu's multipliers are like otherworldly because they have to, because his attack stat is just dog shit. Right? No, Brad, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it has that same energy. You could, like, Tenebria would be adjacent to that, yeah.
It's weird because Tenebria in some incarnations, I feel like if you call red Tenebria Gaki, that works. But then there's also the Tenebria that was like mommy dommy mind breaking the fuck out of Ross, and that's like the opposite of it. Or is it the same thing?
No, it's just you're an annoying spoiled brat. Like it's almost like you're an immature brat. Like you're the equivalent of, like, you know, complaining when things don't go your way. Like, you're just like, you know, it's like that meme where you have the anime girl like on her back, like throwing a temper tantrum, crying. It's like one of those. It's like you just like have like you're just like a spoiled temper tantrum, you know, filled brat.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know. But like, as for this, like 276 is kind of incredible for a Virgo warrior. I don't know. I think it's good, right? Like, it would be great if we could have pen set, but like, here we are, right? Just so that way, if you actually, you know, they give you enrage, like S1 is just like Omega deletion. I think if I was gonna do anything, I think I'd scale back like 300 attack for like 2k more HP, but I don't think this is a problem. Oh, Redos, I was talking about how cringe. This is the first submission we had for Fix It Friday, and they're like, yeah, I play this Teiyu into Gaki drafts, and I was like, what's a Gaki? What do you mean? And apparently, like, their chat was saying that Vic has coined this, like, new term where we're calling Hellion Lua a Gaki, which is like, you know, Mesugaki, like you're like a spoiled, immature, like, brat, like a child throwing a temper tantrum. And I literally said, it's the most, like, cringe weeb thing I think I've heard in a long time. Like, that's too much even for me, right? To call something a Gaki, it's like, you're a spoiled brat. I said it has the same level of cringe as saying Frida is your waifu. It's like, it's the FBI agent is like, that's it. Nah, this guy goes on the list. I'll continue to take my lead from the E7 category. All right. So
here he goes again.
And we're gone. All right, we'll move on to Lux's one.
Oh wait, Sue, wait.
Yes.
Before I go, I want to ask you something. Did you get the Marvel ones? Did you get the Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Did you catch the drop for Spider-Man MTG?
No, did it actually go live?
Yeah, it went live like the other day.
No, I thought they were previewed stuff. You're talking about the six cards. You're talking about the 6 cards, right? With Doc Ock and Venom and everybody.
No, they were up.
I don't believe you. I'll go look at this later.
Back, they're up right now. You can pre-order them right now.
All right. Well, I'll look into this later. We don't have time for this, but yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no. You threw me for a loop, but like, yeah, I've seen the Spider-Man cards for Magic. Like, Venom is solid. Green Goblin's Pumpkin Bombs are like decent in like a fun deck, like a meme deck, but the other cards all suck. Even Spider-Man, he's pretty shit.
Spider-Man's okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
well, it's spectacular Spider-Man, but like it's hilarious because he's a spider, but he's the only spider in the history of Magic that doesn't have reach as a keyword, which is hilarious. So I was like, are you really a spider if you just don't have the one thing that defines every spider in you know, Magic gameplay? Like literally every single Spider-Man, like fan designed Spider-Man card I've ever seen has reach, because that's what every spider has, and then menace. He has neither. It's like, dude, are we really even trying here? Like, menace is the easiest keyword you could put on Spider-Man ever. And they're like, nope, it's not here. All right, so Lux has got the Hua Young here. It says, I decided to have a balanced approach with my Hua Young. build, and I have a 55% win rate so far. The only thing I'm stumped about is what piece to replace in the future for that last 3% on her crit damage. All right. Okay, so you have like almost the same approach that I have, Lux, to Hua-Young, like bystander here. Mine is very, very similar to yours, right? Like I went with the 170 speed build Hua-Young. I'm on 4k attack, 300 crit damage, but I'm at like 17.5k health. Right? So for me, I went for more health. You don't necessarily have to do that. Yeah. Dude, Divine has been derailing me, but it's like the whole stream. But to be fair, they're good topics. They're good discussions to be had. We talked about video game consoles earlier. So I don't know if you necessarily need, I'll be really, I don't think you need the last critical hit damage. Like you're trying to squeeze out more damage. I think you have enough damage. My concern is that you don't have enough health. But that's, I think, a difference in playstyle and mentality. Right? I look at this and I only think of either, hey, if my goal is damage, I succeeded. If my goal is health, I think I need to have some introspective and think about how I would accomplish it. I think without a drastic retooling of a lot of your pieces, I don't think you could actually make the pivot to health like I did, because you would need to be on health percentage boots to do that. In which case, then you have to figure out how can I make up like 30 of the 45 speed I'm giving up for it to actually be worth it. You know? Also, Hasaba, thank you for the hydrate. Yeah, you're an aggro player? Then don't change a thing. But if you really wanted to get like 3 crit damage, like, yeah, there's not really any place you can put it. The only place you can like actually put it is on the helmet, and that's a throw, because you'd have to give up 5 speed to overcap crit damage. Like, that's an actual throw. Yeah, like, unless you get a different body, like, body's perfect piece. Like, only way you're gonna get anything out of that is just have a strictly better sword. Yeah, Hua is definitely a pain to build. Like, I mean, my gear score is like insane on mine. Like, I'm playing like, I think I'm playing like 4 103s, a 107, and a 99. Yeah, like I said, this looks completely fine. Okay. Hey, next up we have Jas. Jas is actually on a meme that I want to build. Also, plus 15 Aureus is hilariously bad. But here we are. I'll cut you some slack because I know you've been playing for like 10 months and you probably don't have a billion Aureus. Yo, what's going on, Asmodeus? You missed it. I said sacrilege and you weren't here for it, so I think I survived. What was said? Oh, dude, I don't mind outing. I just thought it was funny. Tenebae posted a Luna with boots that were so good that not putting them on a tank is actually giving up percentage points. Like they actively are tanking their win rate just to have a better Luna. I was like, man, that's dedication to the cause. Like, imagine saying that your Tenebria is your waifu, and you give probably arguably the most premium tank boots on your whole account to Luna. I'm not anti-Luna. It's just funny. It's just so funny that that Tenebae, you know, of all people, was like, yeah, I put gear on my Luna that's so good that even my Tenebria doesn't have stuff this good. That got a laugh out of me. But yeah, no. So this immunity, Jas. Like, we're at the point in the game where like not having an immunity on a character is actually like a throw. I hate saying that because like my immunity gear is just like actually trash. And I know you've got good health pieces on the character, right? But it's got to be immunity. Like, your opponent goes turn 1 Para, Death Break, or turn 1 Archdemon, you're just dead. Like, considering the meta right now is like dark based aggro, I can't condone playing Hellset on anything that's not on Bastion or Pollution right now. You just die. But like, she's just there to Arius and tank. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you're saying just tank, but even like Albedo, right? Albedo is the highest win rate tank in the game right now. If you play Albedo not on immunity and she gets Death Broken turn 1, she literally gets like gone, right? Like, you're just dead. Like, Para S1 Death Break into like Afternoon Soak Flan, dead. Death Break into any move by BBK, dead. Death Break into any move by Urban Shadow Shoot, dead. It doesn't matter how tanky you are. Like, the format is, oh, you didn't have immunity, how cute, you die. Right? So you have to have immunity on any Arius holder. Like, it's literally immunity plus Arius or Hellset plus Bastion of Pollutia. Like, it's just, that's it. At high level play, you are just, like, Hellset went from being arguably the best 2P set in the whole game last season to nearly unplayable. Like, Para is that strong. Everybody gave me shit when I said she was broken. Like, time has kind of proven that she's the format. Like, for fast players, she's the format. Most players struggle against fast teams, right? The fast team is Para. Like, you're gonna have to play against it. Like, all of the like openers in the hierarchy, I would say Politis is number 1, Para is number 2, like just barely behind that, and then distant third is Luna. Like, Luna, of the 3 like major problematic openers, Luna is the lowest on that totem pole. All right, I think. Because I see a lot of people ban Luna, and like, it works for like Hino and other players. Like, Godspeed, I don't know how they do it. Because like, Para, Politis, Harsetti, those 3 are just cancer. I would rather play against the Luna. That's cool and all, but what is Divine think about Domino's Pizza? I mean, my assumption about Divine's opinion of Domino's Pizza is that it's like solid but not great, and I would hope that is his opinion because, well, he lives in New York, so he has access to arguably the best pizza in the whole country. So it's just like, okay, if you say Domino's is like great, are you really a New Yorker? Somebody was asking about Bad Cat on YouTube. Oh, you're talking about the Gaki conversation from a while back about, is Bad Cat that? I don't really see Bad Cat as that kind of character. I think of Bad Cat as like the rich Ojo-sama type from like anime, where it's like basically they are spoiled in a sense, but like it's like an entitled, like, you know, an entitled rich girl. I wouldn't say that so much as like, doesn't have the same energy, right? It doesn't really have that same energy. Like, one is like I'm throwing like a temper tantrum, right? Because I didn't get my way, right? The other one is just, I'm rich, so I'm better than you, bitch. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, Jas, so like, just switch this to immunity set and you're kind of golden, right? Also, like, hilarious that we have some crit chance, crit damage. I think that's kind of pretty funny. I don't think I would even try for that on Navy Captain, but, you know, sure. Clip me saying what? I'm rich, so I'm just better than you, bitch. That's true. Alright. We'll move on to the Impossible Muffin. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to grab a tissue real fast. Damn, bro. I think I have the heat turned up too high. Because it's like starting to like dry me out. Alright, so this is Impossible Muffin here. It says, I shall now proceed to torment you with cursed builds. The fuck is this? Like, it's not a bad build. It's not a bad build, but like at the same time, but why? This is lore inaccurate Bois Young. Anti-mort tech? Actually, that's pretty true. I think this is kind of fire. I personally would not play this. Like, I think if this is your jam, go for it. I don't think this works at like Emperor or Legend level play. But it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. You were debating full triple unity? That might be a bridge too far. I think full triple unity, it might be a little bit much. But I think this is pretty sick though. Yeah, I kind of like this. I dig this. I think this is cool. I'm trying to think about, is there a way to improve this? And I think aside from like the boots being purple, but like 21 crit chance, like this is kind of some primo gear. Like if we're keeping it real, this is some premium gear. You have like a swap, I think, here on the helmet for 1%, by the way. That's a 103. Unless this is already swapped, in which case, like, okay. Go triple unity after zone soak flan. I don't think it works quite the same, right? Yeah, but this is entirely a meme build, so why not go all the way? That's true. That's true. I don't think this is really tormenting me with a curse build. I think this is just like a hilarious build. Like, I think if this was put like on a defense or something, you'd be like, nah. Yeah, look at Divine over here, bro. Divine, like, literally, hold on a second. Just like, you could stare at Luna for a second. No, I was right. I was right. Divine was like, have you seen the secret lair? And I'm sitting here going like, you mean this thing? I was right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the eyes. Like, yeah, it was like the Spider-Man thing we were arguing about before. I was right. Let me see. Arc sent something. Yeah, Arc, if it's a build, right? Like if this is like a build, like just submit it on Discord. Like I have a queue usually. It's on Discord under Fix It Streams. Like that's where we go through everything like one at a time. All right. So where were we? Alright, so next one up we have is Aligar. Aligar has tried reworking it from the last feedback. While I look for more gear, anything else I should focus on? Thanks again. Alright. Health. Health is the big one. Obviously, you don't need any F or any ER, right? Sweet Miracle. I like having played Shu now. I used to play her on Warhorn. I think Sweet Miracle is her best option, and then Proof is her second best option. They're pretty close, though. Also, Ark, thank you for the follow. Let's see here. So, what do we need? 84. That necklace is really weak. 15 speed is good, but like it's still an overall pretty weak quality necklace, right? Like you have min roll basically in 2 stats, average roll in this, and then the rest is in speed. And it's not even like particularly high speed. Like 15 speed is such a weird threshold, right? Because 15 speed is basically like, hey, this rolled a bunch of times in speed, but it rolled terribly. Like, right? Because if you had a 4 speed, right, to start and it rolled into speed twice, realistically, you're getting 14 speed, right? If you get 15 speed, it's because it rolled 3 times in speed and it rolled badly. Like 15 is like the spot you never want to be in on a piece. Like if a piece has 15 speed, it's probably not that good, right? Like look at the sword, right? The sword's low rolled also. Like 15 speed is like the number to look at. If you look at a piece and it has 15 speed, it's a pretty good indicator the speeds. The piece is probably not that good, right? Just because that's how the math checks. Like I'm not saying it's not always the case, right? Like because you could have a piece that started at a 5 and then go 4-4, and that would give you 15. In which case, banger piece, right? but the vast majority of pieces at 15 speed are just speed pieces that roll bad. Like, just go look through your box. Any 15 speeders you have, you'll find that they probably don't have great stats. Most of the time. Like, 17 speed is the, hey, it rolled speed a bunch of times and actually rolled kind of decent. Right? That's kind of how it goes. So, looking at this, necklace can go. Sword can go for those reasons that I just talked about. Helmet should be different. 16F is kind of like a throw. I think your boot and body are fine. And then the ring, great speed, but like 2 wasted stats. So I think we just keep body, we keep boot, and then we just reevaluate all of this. There's no shame, by the way, in playing Rat at like 250 speed if you can't get the speed pieces. I would rather you play like 1350 defense, 25k health Shu at 250 speed with 200 crit damage than play 260 with a bunch of wasted stats and no HP. Make characters with no waste. Even if they fall short of where you think you should be, I would rather closer to correct than not, right? People hyperfixate, I think, a bit too much on speed. Like, if you could have a character that was 10 speed slower than where it should be, assuming it's not a character like Elena, right? Or like a specific type of Celine. Like, if the character's like whole goal is like, oh, it's a 250 Rimuru for the explicit purpose of cutting for this one action to win the game, and that's all they do. Like, they're a niche, like, you know, pocket pick for a very oddly specific scenario. If it's like a general use character, like a Shu, right, that's going to be used every game, I think if all of your other stats are like triple S tier, but speed is the thing that's only like B tier, that's going to be better than having the like S tier or triple S tier speed, but every other stat being like a B. Like, speed is good, but like it's a total package thing. Like, it's a numbers game, right? Especially on a bruiser. Like, if the bruiser's just gonna die, right, like in one hit, then like, well, it's not worth it. Like, if this was like a 300 speed Shu with a bunch of wasted stats, that's a bit different than a 260 speed Shu with a bunch of wasted stats. Because the 300 speed one, its explicit purpose is to blow something up right at the start and give the team speed ball. Like, a general use, like, I'm using this just as like my primary source of damage Shu. I would rather you have like actual bulk, actual damage than focus on speed. Tenabe asked, how cool would it be if MTG collab with Elden Ring? It is what it is. Like, it's fine. Like, MTG could, like, be honest with you, like, it could collab with so many like more interesting IPs than Elden Ring. Like, I think Elden Ring is a great game with a pretty good like, you know, story, characters, world, right? But when we talk about like you could just collab with all of fiction, right? Like E7 could collab with Elden Ring. That would be cool, but would that be the most exciting thing or the most effective use of like the partnership or the money spent? No. Oh no, save me! Our next one comes from Bread. Chat, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm focused, I'm locked in on chat over here, looking at it. How bad is it? How bad is it? MTG is Magic the Gathering. Asmodeus says not enough ER. Alright, am I gonna hate it? Am I gonna hate it? PvE build, says Pure White Trust. It looks pretty fun. It's not fast enough. Luck says I like it. Alright, I'm scared. Okay, let's look. Speed Torrent. 3,500 is very high for Landy. Alright, so looking at this, 50-50 crit kind of sucks. 15 ER, even for you, is actually a waste. That's like not great. I can kind of see it's the ring. They're doing it because of the ring. It's kind of hard to replace that ring. All right, what I'll say is that the artifact is actually the community nickname for it. Does anyone know what the community nickname is for Landy's artifact? Anyone? Bueller? No. No. That's Guiding Light. I'm talking about Landy's limited artifact, the one that comes on her banner. Does anyone know what the elf mages of the world call it? Because that's how I feel about this build. Okay, so let me explain for those of you in chat that don't know what that is. So Landy, her artifact is referred to as Wall of Copium. So yeah. I think that this is actually the best version of Landy to play is like 260 speed, high damage Landy on Guiding Light. Wall of Water is actually a throw, IMO. I don't care that you get Gab. I literally don't care that you get Gab. Because the only matchup that I think you actually play Landy into is DN. And DN has pen resist and also crit resist. So like, I don't care that you get Gab, bro. The point of playing Landy is just to just bombard them with a million S3s and speed buff. And I could do that as long as I'm stealth. If I Gab and I press S3 and it gets like no damage because of pen resist and I literally don't do any damage because of all the crit resist, and then I die after turn 1, the character is pointless. The character is pointless. Like, I think playing Landy on anything other than Guiding Light is a throw. If you're like actually trying to play this, like this is like, it's actually a throw, not on Guiding Light. Other than that, it's pretty much spot on where it needs to be, except for, like I said, the wasted 15 ER and then the lack of the crit, or the 99 crit. Right? You could actually swap your 4 crit chance for 5 there. Like, that's just a percentage point you could just pick up for free. So, like, if Wall of Water started you in stealth turn 1 and then like didn't have it, like have you revealed after, like, I don't know. See, here's the problem. Like, we have reached the point in Epic 7 where it has become apparent that Ranger and Thieves don't really have a great identity. Right? Like, just like the game has 6 classes. Right? Is it 6 or is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. Knight, Warrior, Mage, Soul Weaver. Yeah, okay. Yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah. So the only like real classes in the game are Knight, Warrior, Mage, Soul Weaver, right? And then there is this like nebulous other class that is Ranger Thief, right? Because Warriors are basically like your DPS, Knights are like your tanks, Mages are like your utility DPS, right? And then, or like your debuffers, and then you have Soul Weavers as like your supports. That's kind of like how it goes, right? You have DPS, Disruptor, Frontliner, Support. That's kind of the roles. And then it's like, oh, and then you have like Ranger, which is just like, it's like a bad debuffer that does damage. And then you have Thief, which is like, it's like a damage dealer, but it can't survive shit. So that's the problem. Like, it's gotten to the point where like Ranger and Thief almost should just merge into one like uniform class, because these characters like don't feel like they do anything different, right? It's like when a character comes out and it's Ranger, the first thought is, oh, it's a Guiding Light character, right? Because like that artifact is just so ubiquitous. It is so ingrained in the identity of the class that like it's almost like Smilegate picks the character to be a Ranger just so it can have stealth. Like a Ranger comes out and it almost is never playable unless it has stealth, or they give it exclusive equipment with stealth. Yeah. Exactly. It's like the Scorpio Thief problem that I always talk about, right? they have to give Scorpio Thieves like dodge or stealth or both for the character to actually be a real character. Because there is no viable thief in that entire Zodiac sign that doesn't have some kind of artificial like thing that they add to the kit to make up for how trash the actual stat line is. Like Ranger as a class, it crutches so hard on Guiding Light that like outside of like Pirate Captain Flan or like Afternoon Soak Flan, like the entire like class just doesn't do anything. Like that, like Briar Witch is cool, great character, but like without Guiding Light, just dies to Zio. Like the whole character, the whole class is just shut down without it. Oh no, Oracle just said, oh no, my Briar Witch without Guiding Light is coming. You have one in the queue, oh no. Look, if you outspeed with Briar, sure, right? Like, it's all situational, it's all contextual, right? Like, if you are like, okay, I have a Briar, I don't play Guiding Light, but the Briar's 300 speed and my pre-bans are Zio and Harsetti. Sure. Like, sure. In that scenario, sure. But outside of that scenario, no. I'm not 300 speed, I'm cooked. Yeah, Opener Briar fell off, I think. This is actually a pretty good idea, a good time for me to do this. Hello, thank you, Nuns, for the resub for 21 months. For some reason, my text-to-speech doesn't work for everybody. But yeah, dude, almost 2 years. Like, I can't believe it either. Here's the thing, like, E7, like, it feels like it... Like, I've been doing content for, like, 3.5 years at this point. And the last 2 years of the 3.5 years I've been doing it feels like it went by in a blink and it feels like nothing happened. It feels like nothing changed in the last 2 years. And that has me worried. But as for why this is early today, it's because I have to be somewhere in about 2.5 hours. I have to bounce out. Right? So that's why it's earlier today. Because if I didn't do it today, I get home at like 10:30 or 11 tonight. We'd be having like a 3 a.m. Fix It Friday. Like, that's why it's here. Alright, give me a second, guys. Like, I'm gonna pull up the next one in a second, but I'm actually gonna just, like, explode. Even though I have stamina, I don't really care to right now on this account. I'm gonna switch to my other account, because, like, I'll show you guys, like, we were talking about Briar. I want to have something queued up for when we talk about Briar next. I'm just trying not to dox my real name because my primary account is under my real name. All right. That way I can bring up E7 on my main so you guys can see that. Yeah, time moves fast, dude. It's scary. Finish your Tori side story, everybody. It's true. Speaking of which, I have to edit part 3 of the, or part 4, I should say, of Sweet Chocolate Scandal this weekend. Shocker, you guys are you're gonna be in for a surprise. I haven't logged in yet on this account. I've been up since 6 a.m. Just been doing like nothing but work and other stuff. Okay, real fast before we jump back into the builds, I have to real quick get my daily summon night. It's a Leah, which means clearly this is an Elson or a Dragon Bride Senya. JK, it's an Acades. Nope, Silk.
Can you feel it? Judgment's touch, carried by the west wind.
Alright, we got a new one! We got a new one! We finally got him! Blessed by Luna yet again. This is true. We got a new one! Oh man, that feels so good!
What do I sell? I'll see you later.
Alright. Yeah, we just go into Rift, right? He's actually good? What's good, Undone? How are you today? Wait, quick, get out before Fene makes weird noises. Alright, next up we have Jiraiya. Jiraiya says it could be better, sad face. And that makes me kind of concerned because, like, Jiraiya was one of the first people that would post for Fix It Friday, and I remember Jiraiya would post these builds and I'd be like, what is homie cooking? This is not it. We need some changes. But lately, I think most of Jiraiya's builds have been pretty good, like Emperor level, level builds, like a lot of very, very strong, well put together characters. So I'm curious as to why they could be better, sad face. So we're on Guardian Ice Crystals, that's good. Defense looks good, health looks good, speed looks good. What do you mean could be better? This is great. What the hell? Like, why are we upset at this? This is great. Like, you have a couple of swaps, right? Like, you could get 6 to 9 here, or like 8 to 9 here. This is pretty good. Could be a plus 30 Ice Crystal, sure. Could be plus 22 F, sure. I mean, if you want to play hybrid DDR, you got it. Like, this is fine. I would say with ML Para, he needs 250, so solid. Maybe. Maybe. You might be right. Also, I remember I played you the other week, so solid. I ran into you. I was trying, I've been trying to, in my quest to try dumb aggro things, I remember I inted against you pretty hard. But yeah, like, yeah, I'm pretty confident I ran into you. Like, I forget what I did. I just remember going like, oh, I think this is one of my viewers. And I either inted into you or somebody else. Like, I think I inted into you the other week. Hey, look, I ran into bread. Yeah, see? Like, I think I threw this game. Yeah, I think I threw this game, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I remember being like, oh, okay, like, he went these two, I should probably tank down. And I was like, nah, bro, he's not gonna outspeed. No. Yeah, if I was gonna go this route, I absolutely should have banned, I should absolutely have banned your opener. Like, not banning your opener is like a throw. Either not, no, it was this. It was not banning DDR was the throw.
Nothing in this world is free.
Oh, we didn't see the screen. I'm dumb. Bro, don't pay any attention to me, dude. I'm novice streamer.
Like I said,
yeah, see, I did actually run into you. Yeah, like, this was the throw. Like, not banning the DDR is just like an actual, like, Omega throw. Like, this was like a, what are we doing here? Like, I didn't get to play the game. Also, you know what I'm starting to realize? Like, Valky was saying that Standard is so strong right now. I haven't watched any of Valky's games this season, but, like, I will say I have very much underrated this character this season. This character is kind of broken. This character is kind of broken this season. The true OP character that I think not, like, some of you guys probably already know, but, like, the actual most OP character I think in this season, right? Aside from, like, Afternoon Soak Flan, because everyone knows this character is busted. This character is low-key fucking broken right now. This character is so obnoxiously broken right now. Like, putting this character under ban protection is actually, like, almost guaranteed win, it feels like. This character is actually stupid. Jiraiya is saying in response, though, to this Death Dealer Ray that it's a terrible chest. I think if you think that a potential 95 is a bad chest, I think you might be, like, your perceptions of what good gear looks like might be a bit skewed. Because every other piece you're rocking on this Death Dealer Ray is, like, best in class. Right? Like, if your chess piece was as good as your helmet, your death dealer Ray would be in the top like 0.0 like I want to say like 5, maybe like top 0.1% of builds. Right? Like if you don't believe me, like I'll just go over to Hero Library, right? I'll go over to Hero Library real fast. Here's Death Dealer Ray, right? So an average of like 100 ES on all of your pieces, like on 100 on like all of your pieces, is like 450, 460. Right? So like if you thought, if this chess piece was as good as your helmet, you'd be rocking like 460 and change, like 460, 465, right? Cool. That would put you as the 7th best Death Dealer Ray in the world. Like, I don't know what else to say there, right? Like, I could just real fast tell you, right? Like this. So what do we got? I'll just tally it up for you. I'll just do it. So you've got. Need notepad this real fast. So you've got 78 plus 77 plus, that's a 95, right? So it's 8 less than that is 69 plus 74 76 plus 74. So you're rocking. You're currently sitting at 448, homie. I'll put you right here. Like you're legitimately tied for 98th best Death Dealer Ray world. So that's why I just don't understand how you think it's like, you know, like chest is terrible. Yeah. that's what I'm saying. Like I need you to put it into perspective. Like 90s is good. 100s is legitimately insane. So for you to have 5 100s and then a mid 90s and say like, hey, terrible chest, I'm like, I feel like we're nitpicking. Like maybe I'm like harping too much because like you're just saying, oh, you just think the chest is not that good, right? Or like it could be better. But like to say like it could be better like in your initial post, and then I'm like, does he not recognize this is like literally like the top like 0.1% of Death Dealer Rays in the player base? Right? Like of the like, you know, 20 or 30k like I don't know how many people are active. I would say, I would argue there's probably like 50,000 maybe, let's say, Death Dealer Rays. They're like 50,000 players, right? Let's say there's 50,000 Death Dealer Rays that are like see regular usage amongst the player base. Like you're sitting in like, you know, you're sitting in that top 100 of like 50,000 players. That is a very, very small fraction of the active player base. Like that's what I was saying when I started reviewing your unit. I was like, I remember when you were having like issues when I first started this segment like a year and a half ago, and now you're posting some of these builds that like some of these players like Valky and stuff. I don't know if they're as good or they might not be able to replicate it. Like this is like a top tier build. This is like top tier. Like you could legitimately, this is like borderline a legend tier Death Dealer Ray. Alright, we'll move on to Tabo. Tabo says, I want to be a Fumir gamer. I'm not sure where to start. Do I need more speed? Okay. Tabo, I'm not a Fumir player, right? But what I will say to you, because like this is, so you go to YouTube real fast. Let me get YouTube to load here, right? And you come over here. Right? You come over here to the homie Vic. You come over to Vic's channel. and you go to his videos, and you search for Fumir, right? 4-time Legend Fumir God, right? Ellicat, right? It's an 1.5 hour long resource from like a one trick for Fumir. He explains like everything. He shows his whole account, how to play it, everything. Right? Like, I would watch this and try to glean whatever you can from it. Right, so that's how I would approach it. Like, I would watch Vic's channel for his like interview with Ellicat, going through it, because like he's the Fumir player. Right, he like, you could also go to like E7GG, right? Like the official like I don't know what his actual like account is. Hold on, let me see if I can figure out what the account name is, right? Yeah, so it is Alexat, right? So yeah, you just like go over to like the E7GG, right? The match history, and you just look up that player, right? I don't know what server. I think he's EU. I actually don't know what server he's on. Is he on global? Maybe on global. I'm like flashbang everybody. All right. I guess I don't have the scripts enabled on the website, but yeah, like I would definitely check that person out, follow them on E7GG, and like try to glean what you can from that. He is EU? Okay. Yeah, my assumption is like it's because I have a script blocker on. So that I'm just letting you know, like that's how you find it, right? I'm not the best resource for Fumir. I think just looking at what you've got, effectiveness seems like, from what everybody's told me, it's not like where it needs to be. Like I think every Fumir that I've ever seen has been 250 plus speed, and they've had like an insane amount of effectiveness. Like we're talking like 250 plus. Yeah, what Calum's is saying in chat, if you're in chat, right? Fumir needs to be 250 minimum, but more so than that, she wants to be tuned to your accounts and units. Like, you basically have to sit there and like, you build a Fumir, and then you meticulously build out a bunch of characters that play ahead of Fumir, right? So it's like, okay, my Fumir is 250. Here's my, like, 290 speed red character. Here's my 280 speed red character. Here's my 270 speed red character, right? Here's my 290 speed green character, my 280 speed green character, right? You have to build your whole account with Fumir so that way you have different characters on both colors at different breakpoints. Ah, thank you, Volcanics. Is this... Yeah, see? So... Yeah, see, Fumir. Like, look at all the drafts that we're playing with Fumir, right? So, like, it looks like you'll be playing a lot of command model Leica. Here, let me do this real fast. Let me turn on dark mode so you guys are not just, like, dead. There you go. But, yeah, you start to look at this stuff, Tabo, and it's like, here, we're playing a lot of command model Leica, a lot of Afternoon Soak Flat, a lot of Celine, some Tori, Elagos. It's not really a Fumir draft. I'm trying to see what other Fumir drafts we have. Yeah, Raz, Celine, Leica. So you want to have it, looks like Leica is going to be one of your premium fast characters that you want to be playing, right? All right. I have to like let through certain scripts to actually get this website to work properly for me. How many of these do I have to let through? All right. So I would just like look through this guy's profile, right? And just try to figure out what you can about Fumir, right? And just see what matchups does he play Fumir into? Like this is the guy to watch though if you want to play Fumir. How do I turn the website on dark mode? It is an extension. You need to have a plugin. It's a plugin that's built into the browser. I use Firefox, so I don't know what it would be for you. But for me, it's Dark Reader is the extension.
Obey me.
Hey, it worked. The oh baby worked for once. It was a little quiet, but yeah, it worked. Yo, what's going on, Twilight? How have you been?
We're done here. Take away the bodies.
All right. Let's move on to Hokichi. This is a Crow.
You know what? I'm done playing nice with incompetent amateurs.
I think Revenge is a really good decision on Crow. I think Adamant Shield is also quite good. What I will say is I think you need more health, and more important than that, I think you need immunity. Like I was saying this earlier, but I feel like right now you're either on immunity set on your characters or you're on Bastion, right? Like it's one or the other. Your character is on Bastion or your character has to be on immunity, right? So just look at it, like this is what you want to be shooting for Crow. You want that big HP number, right? So a lot of people when they build Crow, right, is they don't focus on like super high HP, right? Like so you have like 16 here on your helmet and you have 19 on your body, right? Like so your left side pieces, they're not all in on health, right? They're not all in on health. Like they really should be like more all in on health, right? And like you can see I have 30 on the body and 39 here. I don't really have anything on the helmet, right? But like I'm still averaging like 20 something ish left side, right? And like I'm on these HP boots, right? I mean you could also do this. Like this is kind of how I supplement it, right? I get the speed up here to be able to use these boots. I think even if you went like 280 speed on Revenge, we need to get that HP up. And I recognize that's a little bit hard because what most people, I mean, maybe you have realized it, but like Crow does not have great base HP, right? Crow's base HP is pretty bad, but his defense is pretty much like best in class for Knights. So like you really don't need to put a lot of defense on Crow. He kind of already does it without trying, right? The lowest amount of defense you could put on a Crow is 1062. Like it's really hard to not put defense on, or like to not have defense be at least solid on Crow. Like the absolute worst you could ever do is borderline 1100. That's kind of nuts, right? So you need to really focus on that high HP, right? Like if you look at like other characters, like just to prove the point, like how bad like his HP like is. Like here's Kayron, right? Kayron's 5300, but that's Ares. I'm trying to think of like where's Celine? Right? Celine's only 150 less than Crow. Like that should tell you how bad Crow's HP is. So like when you're building Crow, you need to get those huge HP numbers. Like that comes first and foremost. It's more important than ER. It's more important than defense. It's more important than speed. Also, like I was saying, maybe you might want to consider health boots. Health boots can help out a lot, going triple health right side and getting some speed pieces to compensate. That'll make it so your left side doesn't have to be as crazy. Of the pieces that you have here, I think that your necklace is pretty good, but the rest of this stuff, right? I don't think you need it. I think you want to try to focus, get some other stuff, get the HP up, get either the speed, like get a bunch of speed so you can play HP boots, or get really high HP subs on the left side so you can play speed boots. Immunity, definitely a high recommend. And like we talked about, here's this ring that's 31% defense. We don't need that, right? Aureus Knights don't usually get to actually use most of their defense stat because they are naturally absorbing through like the escort passive like Crow or just the artifact Aureus. They are absorbing a bunch of damage from their teammates, and the damage they absorb is affected by their teammates' defenses, not Crow's. So even though he's really high defense, he very rarely gets to take advantage of it. So like realistically, like 1400 to 1500 is enough. Any more is like luxury stat. You don't really need it. I would focus on trying to get your HP to like 28k, your defense to like 1500, and then your speed to 180, and then your ER like 85 lowest. And play immunity set. I think it's really, really important in the current format. Oh, I didn't see what you said there, Twilight. Job searching sucks. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. My day job is in the recruiting industry. And the current state of the market is bad. B-A-D, bad. So, I thought my day job was worshiping Luna. Oh. Look, Asmodeus, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. I already explained this. In my room, I got a 2B and I got a Tifa. I will get a Luna, but she's probably on the side shelf. After seeing Machine Gun, for somebody who doesn't play a lot, Machine Gun's got some broken ass stuff, Volcanics. She should, bro, but if she's front and center, how do I watch TV? Like, I literally have like a 60-inch TV in my bedroom, and just as like bookends on the sides of the flat screen TV, I've got a 2B on the left and a Tifa on the right. TV is the new radio. Oh, dude, it's all good fun, Asmodeus. All right, so this is Machine Gun says. What the fuck? Dude, it's only B imprint? It's only B imprint? Holy. Okay. All right, so this is a speed one. So obviously, okay, first off, the Awaken, top left. Sword of Summer Twilight. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Sword of Summer Twilight just gives you better encroach damage. Also, you want, you definitely want to try to get this to 14. So, like, just, without looking at the actual gear first, like, 6-star Awaken, 3% missing on the EE. Sword of Summer Twilight feels like, very much feels very Winmore to me. Like, it's not bad. I think it's an interesting choice. Right? It gives you better encroach damage, but it comes at the expense of not having, like, max damage for the S3, which is kind of what I want, right? Like, the exclusive equipment means he doesn't really need the Alexis Basket anymore, but I think I would just go for a damage artifact. Like, Wind Rider is obviously premium, right? But I think just generic damage artifact is probably better than Sword of Summer Twilight, right? That's for how we have this built. I feel like this is too fast. Right? Am I wrong? Is this like... Isn't this carry supposed to be a bit more damage heavy? I think he's supposed to be a little bit more damage heavy. Let's see. I'm trying to see what was I on. I was on, like, this when I played him. So, yeah, damage feels like it's just slightly too light. I don't really know what this is tuned with, right? I feel like you want, like, another 200-ish attack, another, like, 10 crit damage. You know what it is? Like, actually, this 6th Awaken, I think, actually does it. What it says is 6th Awaken. Hold on. Is it attack percentage? No, it's other end. Health. So you get 30 attack. That's kind of rough. Yeah. So my thought is, like, I don't know what you're tuned with here. I think that the 3% on this, like 3%, it's like 3% of 1200, right? Okay. 36. So you get about 66 attack off of just getting this up here and getting the Last Awaken, right? So you're really 3900. So you need about 100 attack and you need about 10 crit damage, right? Yeah, it's probably tuned with Frida and BBK, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out where can we pick up stats, right? I feel like 91 ES sword is kind of not really like it right now. Like, I know 21 crit damage seems good on paper, but it is so easy to get a speed set sword with good subs. Like, you have Hell Raid, Nightmare Raid, right? There's a ton of events. Like, sword is like the easiest piece, I think, to get a DPS on. Like, so I think we could definitely get an upgrade here. Ring is also like 20 crit damage, great. The rest of it is kind of mid. This could be used a little bit of an upgrade. Also, not on like Pen or Torrent, right? Like, I'm on Pen for the bigger S3 damage. You could, if you could spare the crit, you could go for like a Torrent, or you could go for like Pen for just more damage. Think he needs the immunity set? I don't think it needs immunity. I don't think he needs immunity. Because so here's the thing. If I'm playing Sez, I should have turn 1. If I am playing Sez and I am not the aggressor in the matchup, something has gone seriously wrong. I probably already lost that game. Is this global only? No, no. If you want to submit a build, you could just throw it under the Discord. Also, my heart goes out to you, Greg, because that's how I was for like a very long time. Couldn't get a job, so I joined the job seeking industry. Yeah, so I think it's sword, ring, damage boosting set if you can. 6th Awoken, 3% more on the EE. Different artifacts, something that gives more damage. Wind Rider, Symbol of Unity, something like that. That's pretty much where I think we're at. I think about 100 more attack and like 100 more crit damage, or not 100, 10 more crit damage. Yes, 100 more. Dude, yeah, just overcap it by a solid 40. Seems good, right? All right, let's move on to Kepo Dragon. My only lifeline as a turn 2 player. I feel that. All right, I felt really bad, actually. I don't want to, like, dox this guy, but there was a guy who asked me for advice yesterday for, like, RTA. He was like, I need help in RTA, right? And so he sent me, I'll show you a couple of screenshots, like, because the whole thing was, he was like, guys, like, yeah, you know, I would like to play some RTA, like, can you give me a hand? And I was like, oh, just send me what you're missing from your roster. We can, like, kind of, like, talk about it, right? And so he sends me, like, you know, no young Senya, no Ilanav, no Dragon Bride, no Selene, right? No Schneel, right? I'm like looking at the other stuff. It's just like no Luna. And then I go to look at the dark units and I'm like, no Peyra, no Sea Phantom, no Hellion, no Harsetti, no Zeo. I was like, no Archie. I was like, okay, we might be cooked, chat. So just take solace in knowing you have a Schneel. So you got that going for you. No, he has DN. I advised him to play his whole account around BBK, Tori, Raz, Blue Crowd, DN. Like those 5 units. Like that's his core. He takes DN on 1. You play these 2 tanks. You play Tori or BBK in 3 every game. Because I was like, you don't have a choice. That is it. That is your team. You can't play anything else. And I told him, I was like, and you need to open up Story Summit and you need to get a Selene. You need to get a Selene. Like, I firmly think if you hit find match, find opponent on World Arena, and you don't have green Selene, geared, that's a throw. Like, that's actually a throw. You have thrown the video game. Like, get out of World Arena, go get a Celine. Like, Celine is the #1 most important unit for a new player to have if they want to play World Arena. If you want to play PvP, you need a Celine. Period. End of discussion. Every playstyle, Celine. You don't have Celine? Do you play PvP? Because if you do, and you don't, get a Celine. Anyways, looking at the Schneel, I don't know if you need a... You definitely need immunity. I don't think this is like that bad. I think this is like a fine build. A lot of bulk. I'm playing Schneel at the moment, you know, similar-ish, right? Like, I think overall, you probably have more bulk, but I have more speed. Right? So, like, you're not in a bad spot here. I think if we could pick up the speed a little, that would be pretty good. 120 flat defense on helmet. How much is that percentage-wise on this character? Is it like 20? Is that 20? I'm not actually familiar with Schneel's stat line. Wait, is he Amids? That's actually quite good then. 120 defense is quite good on him. Yeah, this is the Ahmed stat line. Ring is a little bit suspect. Like, the 25 ER is good. The 12F is wasted. Good def, though. It's not a bad piece. I think the weakest piece is probably Boots. Yeah, I think Boots is probably weakest piece. And then, like, if I could get a ring with some speed on it. Like, if I had, like, a 20 ER ring. Like, even if I dipped under a little bit on under 100 ER, right? If I was, like, 96 ER, right? But I had, like, 10 speed on my ring, I'd be okay with that, right? You think Helm is suspect? No, Helm is... I originally thought the Helm was suspect also, but, like, when the character only has 520 base defense, right? So 120 is actually pretty good value. Like, it's pretty good value, right? Like, if you had 600 defense, you think about it, right? If you had 600 defense, then 60 flat defense is 10%, right? So an average, like, 600 defense character, 120 is 20% defense. He has only, like, 520 defense, which means that this is realistically, like, 24, 25% defense. Like, it's a bit better than you're thinking it is. Like, the helmet's quite alright. It's quite good. Body also having the 12 crit chance is, like, a little bit of a waste, right? I think I'm focusing up on a better body. But basically the immunity pieces. The immunity pieces, I think, are what need to be better here. And then you could obviously get some better boots, too. Like, boots are playable, but... I read Helm and thought Nikke. Damn, am I cooked? Yeah, dude. I bet... How many times did you watch the Helm ASMR that came out today, Anya? Don't lie to chat. They know when you're lying. But yeah. Keppo, this is, like, fine. Better immunity pieces. Pick up the speed a little bit. And I think you'll be good. Caught? Dude, you like how I just throw them daggers and I get people? I saw it show up on my feed and I was like, I got work to do, man. I can't be sitting here listening to hot women talk to me, you know, in my headphones. I think the Helm ASMR is out, yeah. Yeah, Celine, Amiki, VVK is the RTA damage starter pack, yeah. I honestly, we always talk about Epic Dash, right? How it should be for new players. I think they should have an event that gives you a Celine with a 30 Storm Sword, a Politis with like a 30 Book, and like one other character, maybe not maybe BBK, right? Right? Like one other like good character. They give you like an RTA starter pack. Like, hey, you need these characters. Like how they gave us Tamarin and Brieg for free. Like they should just have an event that gives you a Selene, a Politis, like a Blue Crow, and then like one other damage dealer for free. They just give you that. Like there's like pick 5 units. Selene, Politis, Crow, pick 2 others, right? And be like, here's your RTA starter pack. And then they just give these to you. Because then everybody like has them. We're all on the same page. Well, this is what we're talking about, Leon. Right? Somebody asked me to coach them in RTA. Like, hey, can you like help me get my account RTA ready? And I was like, okay, I think I could do that. Show me what units you have. And then I looked and they legitimately, of the top 30 most played RTA units, they had 4 of them. They had 4 out of the top 30. And I was like, oh, so we have no meta units. So like, how am I supposed to advise you? And the solution was just he has to play Raz, Crow. Like he has to play Diana on 1, Raz and Crow on 2. If they're not heavy, heavy blue, go Tori on 3. Otherwise, play BBK. And that's it. That's all they can play. They can't play any other draft. There's no other draft they can play. Oh, there's a Summoner's War feature you want me to talk about? Okay, I wanted to see what it is. I don't play Nikke anymore, but it popped up on my Twitter.
Huge mistake!
Dude, Nikke is so good though, Shio. I think Nikke's story is just so good. I would just keep playing Nikke for the story. I'm so invested in that world and its characters. Like I'm so stoked about the half-year anniversary coming up in like May. You know, my girl gonna get the idol mode. If you know, you know. And probably that's a swipe from me, dog. All right, so this is from Twilight. This shoe here that we're looking at that I've got had up on screen for a bit. Yo, this is good. For how fast you are, this bulk and damage is quite good. I don't think you have any wasteds either. You have no wasted stats. Yeah, there's no wasted stats on this build. I mean, there's nothing. I knew you have the 10 speed E too. That's crazy, dude. I only got the 9. Yeah, this is like as good as it gets. Right? There's nothing else I can really say here. Like, this is like as good as it gets. Unless you have like just infinitely better gear score, necklace, and body, it's not getting better than this. All right. Volk posted this. They say recently added this to Guild Wars and Summoners War. Support monsters are shared monsters that can be used by all users in World Arena. At least 10 fully progressed support monsters equipped with runes and artifacts are provided every season. Equipped runes and artifacts cannot be changed or removed. Support monsters can be used in ranking battle. Okay. And then what is this? I don't quite... Oh, support monster. So, like, I don't get it. So what does the feature do, Volk? How does it work? You say support units. Like, is this like how in Adventure you have like the friend unit that comes in to help if somebody dies? Oh! Oh, so these are characters that are just pre-built. Oh, yeah, this is just broken. Yeah, you want this. Yeah, this is a great feature. Why would you not want this? It's exactly what everyone's saying. So it's like, hey, if you don't have, right, like, I'll just show my Albedo, right? So, like, here's my Albedo, right? You know, 1700 defense, 31k HP, 160 speed, like, you know, with prot set on immunity, right? So they might be like, oh, okay, like, if you don't have Albedo, you can draft a stock Albedo that might be like 1500 defense, like 29.5k HP, 150 speed, no effectiveness on protection, immunity, right? So like they give you one that's like decent. It's not best in class. Like obviously if you own it, it's just going to be better, right? But they might give you one that's like 80 or 85% the character. So that way, like, while you're still new and still learning, there's like a small subsection of characters the game gives you for free. I like that it also uses, I really like that thing used, let me pull that back up. I really, really like the fact that it gives you collab units. Like, if you miss Demon Slayer collab, you have, you know, characters that you can play from Demon Slayer. Like, so if Demon Slayer characters are meta, you have access to pre-belts. Collabs or skin is only. Yeah, but like, the point is, like, even if they are skins only in this game, I don't think I really care on Done. Because the thing is, like, if I played a game, right? Like, if I joined Nikkei today and I saw 2B was in it and I couldn't play, like, 2B, and you're like, oh, don't worry, you could play as, like, Helm. Helm is just 2B. 2B is just a skin for that character. I'm still going to be like, man, but I wanted to play as 2B. Right? So, like, there's definitely something to be said about, like, oh, Tanjiro could be this character, but, like, it's not the same as being, you know, having the Tanjiro skin, right? You want to play the Tanjiro skin. Like, skins are important for some players. Like, if they weren't, like, Fortnite wouldn't be anywhere near what it is as a game, right? Like, I was never going to touch Fortnite, right? My buddy was like, yo, would you play Fortnite a couple games with us if I bought you a Chun-Li skin? And I was like, say less. So that's it, yeah. So some people just like certain characters, right? Tell Smoggy to do this with the survey and stuff. I think the survey is actually closed at the moment, but yeah. But yeah, Twilight. Excellent shoe, by the way. Excellent shoe. I don't even think I can build one this good. Alright. Another shoe here. Proving my point that rat meta is real meta. Raul's here next. Alright, we're close-ish here. All right, we have you know, broken set here. You're on Durandal. I think if you don't have Sweet Miracle, I would play Proof of Valor on the character. Right? Defense and health is good. Speed's kind of low. We definitely want to pick up our speed a bit if we can. And then we obviously want to get a 100 crit chance. Even if you don't have the crit damage, like, that's fine. So I think you're a little over on your defensive stats, right? So this sword, right, being so high on health but no speed, we kind of need a more evenly distributed piece, like 15 to 20 health with like 10 to 15 speed here. I think that's a big point we need to, you know, kind of fix. Same thing here with our necklace. Necklace not having speed, also going to hurt you. And you do want to complete a set here, right? Either health set, immunity set, or pen set. One of those is probably ideal. I think immunity is probably the most desirable at the moment. But if you can't get that, get health or pen set. Right? And yeah, just overall, I think you could shave off about 50 to 100 defense. You could shave off about 2,000 of your HP. But you need to pick this speed up to at least like 250-ish. Like, the strength of Shu is turn cycling, and 230 is just a little bit too slow, right? Get your crit chance to 100. Don't worry so much about critical hit damage. Like, that's the luxury stat. Like, I talk about this a lot. There's a luxury stat, like a stat where if you have really good gear and you could afford it, you go for it. But, like, priority for Shu should be like 1,300 defense, 23k HP, 250 speed, 100 crit chance. If you can hit all that, then get either 1, more speed, 2, crit damage, or 3, more health, right? Like, that's kind of how it goes. Right? You see from this last example, 1,300 defense, 23k HP, 100 crit chance. All right, and we have the gear to jump up the speed and to jump up the critical hit damage a little bit, right? And then if you, like, look at mine here, right? Defense is a little bit lower, but it's still, like, roughly similar, right? If I go here, but so like 1250-ish defense, at 23k HP, over 250 speed, we got the crit chance. So we can jump up our speed 19, we could jump up our crit damage about 50, right? That's kind of how you want it, right? Yeah, like characters have like templates, right? You have like a base idea of like what you're trying to do with it, and then you kind of you add your little like sprinkle, your little flair there of like what you're trying to do with it, right? Like Raz, right? Raz is like, oh, what do you want on Raz? Oh, well, I want like 200 speed and like 14 to 1500 defense and like 28k HP. And I'd like to get like 85 effectiveness. Okay, cool. You've got all that. What else do you want? Do you want ER? Do you want more F? Do you want more HP? Do you want more speed? Right? So you have to choose from there. So like in my case, I was like, screw it. I'm gonna just get the F, the ER also. But like most other Razes would probably be like, oh, we don't need the ER. We'll just get 20 more speed. So like that's where the build diversity comes in, right? You see this a lot with like Arya, right? People choose either more ER or they choose more damage or they choose more health. It happens a lot with this character. All right. So here is the famous Oracle Briar that they were afraid I was going to roast them on. So, assault damage. I don't know, man. You'd have to tell me, Oracle, how you play this. Right? Because I'm on similar speed bracket to you right now. But I'm taking things a little bit differently. And I'm curious, like, how does this pan out for you, right? Because for me, right, how I'm playing the character right now is I'm playing the character as just a complete death breaker that's just there to be very hard to kill and annoying. So you're faster than I am, but like, yeah. I'm just trying to be like, hey, this is going to sit in Guiding Light the entire game and just keep repeatedly death breaking you. You usually pick her as an evade killer. If that's the case, then yeah, you want the damage. A symbol. So you're only picking this, or you're saying you play this with ML Poly, right? So how fast is ML Poly, right? $300 and 290 plus. Okay, so you're pushing back. So assuming you have turn 1, you're pushing back. What is it? 20%, something like that. So it's like roughly 60 speed. So yeah, you're like well within the range, right? Where you'll definitely overtake somebody that you push back. I feel like if you're the aggressor in the match and you have two openers that you can guarantee that Briar Witch gets to a turn, then this is probably fine. Right? I think if you can't guarantee turn 1, I don't like this. So Democry asks real fast, I've been on autopilot for the game for a few months. I want to do a big Fribble session on my day. How do I go about ranking, prioritizing units and Fribbles? Alright, I will explain to you how I do it. I don't know, so I know that Valky, I'll get to that in 1 second, Democry, but like just to let me wrap up this with Oracle, right? I think if you just want to play this as an evasion killer, I think that is fine. If this is a cleave opener, obviously it's too slow. Obviously the effectiveness is not there, right? I think Briar Witch is in this really weird state in the game where I think the character is very good, but I think that the old way that people used to play it, which is either like the 220, 230, like, you know, immunity, some like 80-ish effectiveness, right? Kind of death break at the midpoint in the game, the mid speed bracket, that doesn't work. I also think that the 300 speed cleave one doesn't also really work that well. So I think if this works for you, you rock with it, because I don't think that the old school build really works on this character. As you can see, like, I'm on a really weird build that I haven't gotten too many games with. I've got like 1 or 2 games in. I want to really put this style of Briar Witch through the ringer, because I think that there might be something here, right? I think just having like a very hard to kill Briar Witch Asaria that's just death breaking you repeatedly might have some inherent value, right? It might. It's the same reason why I built something like this, where it's just like, here's a Judge Kisei that just exists to be an asshole. Right? I don't know how it's gonna work out. This could be dog. This could be a completely unplayable build. But I think we're at that point. Briarwitch is that character, I think, right now, one of those characters where I think you have to try new things with her. Right? And that's just my opinion, right? You don't have to agree with me. Like, just looking at it, the gear looks pretty good. Like, there's not really anything that you could realistically change outside of, like, swaps. Right? Yeah. But yeah, so the question was asked on YouTube, how do you make a Fribbles priority list? So how Valky does it is, Valky goes like, these are my 310, like Valky, from what I remember him saying, is like, here are my 310 speed characters, right? And then here are my 300 speed characters, all right? And then he goes, okay, here are my 290 speed characters, right? And then he just goes, and that's his priority list, right? He just tunes his whole account top to bottom, like fastest characters. And then when he drafts, he goes, pick 1 is my 310, pick 2 is my character's 10 speed slower than that. And it's like he has like a whole tiered system where it's like, okay, I pick my 310 here. Okay, my second pick is like 260. Cool. So this character is 250 or less. And then he just goes down 10 notches every time. That's how I remember him doing it. I don't know if that's how he still does it. But that's how he explained it to me when I first, like, started, like, talking to him, right? Like, 2.5 years ago. Right? Yeah, this is a video. So how I do it, right? How I Fribbles it, right? Is I go like this. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what I do. Alright. So I lay out this list here. This is the draft. Characters I'm going to pick first. Characters I'm going to pick second, third, fourth, fifth picks. Characters I'm only picking if it's the last overall pick of the draft. And then niche are characters I expect to play like 1 in 20 games, right? Right? And so, like, let's say, for argument's sake, I think New Moon Luna is the character I want to play first, or like Lomo Payra. This is actually how my account is built right now. These are the 2 girls I'm playing every single draft, right? Also, I should add one more tier here. I'll throw this up top. Pre-bans. Where are you? All right. Yeah, so there you go. So there you go. These are the characters I don't like playing against. These are the girls I want to play first every game. Right? And then let's say, like, all right, these are both banned. All right, DDR is the next best one. These are, I think, the 3 characters I'm trying to take on 1 every game, right? Maybe you consider Ilanav, or maybe, let's say, where is she? Dian. Like, let's say, like, realistically, these are the 5 characters you're taking. And, like, you're taking Payra first if she's available, Death Dealer Ray second, New Moon Luna third, right? Like, in this order. Like, these are, you think, are the 5 characters you could reasonably see yourself drafting no matter what the pre-bans are in your first pick. And you think Payra is the best one. All right, cool. These are your top 5. They get the best gear on your account because you're playing them every damn game. Every single game you're playing these characters. So why would they not be on your best gear? Because you're literally playing them every single game. If they are in 95+% of all of your matches, why would they not be on your best gear? If they're on, like, your, like, second or third tier gear, right? Because, like, let's say, like, Bystander Huayong, right? This is a pretty good example, right? I traditionally like playing Karina, right? I like playing Karina. Karina has been a core of how I play the game for, like, the last 2 years or so. I see Bystander as an extension of Karina. So some people will consider Bystander here, right? They're thinking of it as a counter pick. So they don't need to dedicate premium gear to it. I think Bystander is core to my gameplay. So she's on, like, absolutely cracked gear, which is why I have her, like, in this tier, right? But it's all a matter of perspective, right? Like, if I'm Sue or Valky or Light E7 or Elvmage tells you that they think Bystander Huayong is best character in format for whatever reason, and they put it here, right? but you don't play Bystander Hua Young, right? Just because the legend player says, oh, I think that Bystander Hua Young is best character in game, does not mean that you need best character, like best gear, right? So to give you an example, right? We could throw this kind of anywhere, right? Cookie, who watches the channel a lot, right? Sometimes submits stuff here. Bellion is core to his strategy, right? And Bellion, right, is in his third pick ban protection or even earlier. So for Bellion, he's going to have this like higher up on his prio list than other people because he's playing Bellion every game, right? I would argue, if I'm being real with you, that this third pick, because of ban protection, is like right here. But that's kind of how you get it. Like, these are my openers. I'm playing them every game. Best possible gear, right? Because otherwise I'm just giving up percentage points. Like, if you don't actually play Peyra every single game that she is available, then she does not belong in this tier, and you just put her like here. And then just give her worse gear, right? Just because your favorite streamer plays Peyra every game, but if you don't draft Peyra every game, don't put your best gear on her. Like I said, third picks is probably above second picks as long as ban protection. Right? Because you're going to be playing these are core to your strategy. But like, that's how you do it. It's just, hey, I'm playing these 5 every game. And then like, I'm playing, you know, I'm just like picking stuff like for the hell of it, right? Like, I'm playing these characters like next most. So it's just like, okay, these characters will get the next set of gear. And that's how I do it. I literally just walk it down and go, I play Peyra every game, right? And I play BBK or whatever, right? Like maybe you go, we're not going to say that's like that, but you start to like layer it out where you're like, okay, Rylet's like what I'm putting under ban protection when I'm drafting Peyra. So like he gets the gear here. Or, you know, Bloodblade Corinne, right? So like, you just start to see the strategy develop, right? Like Peyra's on 1. The characters I'm most likely to pair with Peyra get the next best possible gear after these ones that I'm going to be playing every single game. Okay, so these are the characters I play with Peyra. All right, what characters do I play with Death Dealer Ray, right? So they should probably be here, right? Let's say I play Young Senya, right? I play Young Senya. Where is she? Am I like blind? I play Young Senya with DDR, right? So that means Young Senya should be right here. You start making pairings, right? Oh, New Moon Luna, right? I play New Moon Luna with Zio, for example. All right, so then Zio should be pretty high up on my list because anytime I'm on New Moon Luna, I'm going for the Zio draft. Does that make sense? Like, that's pretty much how I developed the prio list, right? Like, I can't take all the credit for this because I know other people in my Discord do the same thing. But, like Jas is a big, you know, user of this. But, like, that's kind of it. You're just, here's my best. This is the pack 1, pick 1. If I have the option, this is the character I'm playing every game, right? And then after I, like, iron out what my, like, 3 to 5 characters I'm playing every single game are, then I start thinking, okay, the best possible first pick character, if I get it, if it falls in my lap, who's got the best gear to support them? Okay, is it Corinne? Corinne gets the next best gear. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, the speed rankings always felt arbitrary to me because, like, where is he? Like, oh, bro, like, I have a 310 Peyra. And then it's just like, all right, well, Closer Charles is like a really good character with Peyra, right? And he's like 290 speed, so like, I should have him in tier 3, right? So she's 310, he's 290 or whatever. But like, what if I don't draft Closer Charles every game? Why does Closer Charles have 290 speed premium gear then? Because I don't play Closer Charles. So that's why I do it the way I do it. It's just one of those things where it's just like, just because, like, if you're not going to play it, don't put it high on your list. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the other thing. So, like, for me, I'm like a tank player. So for me, I just go like, you know, Knight, right? And then I start to just go like, all right, well, like, you know, Albedo has better gear than Tywin, right? You could do it by subsections also, like, right? Like, Okay, I think Crow should have better gear than Tywin. I think that, you know, Armin should have actually better gear than Crow. Because Armin's good versus Cleave and is good with young Senya. Right? And then I start to look at the other tanks in the pool, right? You have Adventure Roz. I think Adventure Roz is better than all of these, but I think Albedo is better than all of these. And then this gives me an idea. I start to look at it like, I think Last Rider Crow is better than Tywin, but worse than Crow. And I think Fallen Cecilia actually has more applications than Ambitious Tywin for Cleave. Maybe I think that she's better than Last Rider, right? Okay, Yulha. Well, Yulha is just worse than Blue Crow. I might play her versus Cleave, but I don't think I'm going to play her more than these, so I'm going to slide this here. And then you start to see, like, this is how you rank all of your tanks. So, best tank gear goes to Albedo, second best gear goes to Roz, third best goes to Armin, and you just go until you go, I can't build a good tank anymore. All right, and then you just go, okay, these are my 5 tanks. Because these are the ones I actually can gear. Right, I got my generic use tank, I got my aggressive tank, I got my young Senya tank, I got my defensive tank, I got my anti-cleave tank, boom, done. Is Green Armin seeing actual play? No. I think, though, that she is underplayed. I think that she is better than people are giving her credit. I have been playing her. Yeah. It's not a matter of Mort. Mort exists, Big Sad. I don't care about Mort. So here's what Armin does, right? Armin reduces single target DPS by 30% across your whole team. Your whole team takes 30% less single target damage in a format that increasingly is favoring single target. She can hold Arius. She can hold protection set, obviously. And then she has counter built-in Elbrus, like essentially like, well, not Elbrus, but she has built-in counter. So if they want to focus your tank, she has a chance to counter and stun. Obviously, Mort negates that. But her S3 is, right, if you look at it, it is a defense increase for her, a barrier for your whole team, and it dispels 2 debuffs. So in a format that's increasingly filled with debuffs, having my Arius holder be able to buff stack, be able to cleanse, be able to potentially ruin my opponent's like day with her damage mitt and the counter. Is it better than Albedo? Hell no. Is this an insanely good free-to-play 4-star? Hell yeah. Yeah, I actually think Tank Armin's very good right now. Yep. I've been a big fan of... the only Armin I don't like is Crimson Armin. Like, that's the only one I don't like. I've always hated Crimson Armin. She's so boring to play. But the other Armins are good. We like the Armins. What you're saying is tank Armin on 3F. No, I don't think you want 3F on Armin. She doesn't have the base HP for it. Like, I'm pushing my HP pretty hard here. If Armin had a drawback, it's her HP kind of sucks. Her speed and HP are kind of dog. Showed my Araz. You need to build him up. Okay. There's Ross. How do you work with this thing with things like Arena and Guild War defense? I don't really know how to answer that question for you because I'm a World Arena player first and foremost. You should just like take those things into account though. Like, hey, I draft New Moon Luna with Requiem Rwana and like Green Sid or whatever have you. I don't know what you'd play for Flag Arena, but if you're playing it every Flag Arena, put it high on your build. Like, just ask yourself, what characters are you trying to play in Epic 7? Right? Like, if you're trying to play Blue Luna every game, I'm not going to stop you. But if you're trying to play Blue Luna a lot, she should be high on your list. Right? If you think that you're playing Celine every single game when you don't have first pick, she should be high on your list. If you think you're going to play Baiken for red lobbies, just to flex on people, she should be high on your list. To be fair, this is a lot of like thrown on gear. I used to have a way better bike in when we first started doing red lobbies. Is MLTU going to be banned in red lobbies? Almost assuredly, bro. He is just a better version of Ran. How long have I been playing Epic 7? Do they have those? Yeah. Do they have the badges? Do we have the badges? I'll see. Yeah, here. Can I do this one? I'll make this larger. There you go. Since 2018. Yep. By the way, do you guys like this? Do you like this profile card? I had to explain this joke to somebody. They didn't get it. I think this was Jas. Was it Jas that didn't understand this joke? Right? Where I literally had to, like, hide all the stuff so I could show him. Because, like, he didn't get it. Don't forget, you're here forever. And then, obviously, you strategically hide stuff so it says do it for her. Not enough Luna, says Asmodeus. Unfortunately, when I made this card, there wasn't enough Lunas to actually do this. Yeah, I have watched The Sims before, but I've never seen this yet. Dating yourself on that? Dude, there's something to be said about classic Simpsons. Don't at me. This meme is ancient, bro. There's no way you guys have never seen the do it for her meme. Yeah, I like this one, and this is the one Biako made for me, right? But like, I don't know, man. I think this one is too funny to not play. I think this one is too funny to not use. Yeah, don't forget, you're here forever. So I don't know, man. This is my masterpiece, bro. I don't even care that it's literally has like nothing to it. It's the simplest thing ever. I don't even care. I think it's the funniest profile card. Bean meta, like GH was right. Bean meta is the best, dude. It's too funny. Yeah, no, I know about that, Brad. My join date is the start of global server. It's like November 5th, like 2018 or whatever. 2 Lunas on my supporter list? Do I actually? I believe I do have 2 Lunas on my supporter list. Yeah. Dude, look, I have a bike in on my supporter list. What do you mean? Like, of course I do. My supporters list is like literally my favorite character of every class except for Knight and Ranger, and then like people don't usually unless you have Arby, but like for my individual class ones, it's my favorite character of every single class except for Knight and Ranger. Like, my favorite Knight is Fallen Cecilia, but nobody will use Fallen Cecilia if I put it here. Right? And then Ranger is just Commander Pavel because I think he is just actually, like, the stones for farming. So. Anyways. That's enough yapping. We move on to the next one. This is Wii U here. Raul posted another one, but I only do one per person per stream. So. Oh, wait, hold up. Look at mine. Who is this? Who this? This is actually, like, beautiful. And Shio said this is mine. Where content? That one's too meta. Oh, right. We forgot. Yeah. Luna... Unfortunately, Luna overlaps with Sermia, so can't have Sermia and Luna on the same profile. Knight Sermia when? Burn the Witch? Okay. I was gonna say it looked like a Bleach character. It is from Burn the Witch, so it's a Kubo character. Okay. So this one is for Wii U. New player, playing for 4 months or so. To use her include you use her include with Para Emma. My question is how much of a difference 220 speed would make. Okay. So speed tuning, everybody will tell you it's 220, right? And that is just because of how people have Para, right? So like it's how combat readiness works in the game. So if they have a 310 Para, right, and it goes first, that's 100% CR. So if Para pushes 20% CR, then you get, you know, 20% of 310, right? Like that's kind of what it is. So if you have, you know, 310 times 0.2, that's 62. So 310 minus like 62, that gets you like 248. So most people, if they're playing like the 290, 300 Paras, the reason they're saying that they do 220 BBK is because you're basically right there, right? You're right at 220. You're basically the BBK is like almost borderline next. It's literally like here's a Para, here's a thing before Para, right? Or after Para, and then here is BBK. Like, it's just about tuning. So, if you don't have the, like, near 300 speed Para, then it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. You pick Para than the BBK? Yeah, so if you have the really fast Para, like, if Para, the faster your Para is, the faster Corrin should be. Right? So, like, if you don't have... Like, if your Para is like as a new player, if your Para is like 260, 270, then you can just play 200. It's only once you start getting higher speed that you should change the speed of Corrin. Alright, so to answer your question, does 220 make a difference? Not really, not unless you're tuned for it. You do 280 plus speed imprint. So 290? So then, like, you get 58 speed. So, like, 290 minus 58 is, like, 220 something-ish. Yeah. So, yeah. It would probably... You're at that point where it would matter. Looking at your gear, obviously, boots and your helmet are pretty much as good as it gets. I think that your necklace is good. I think that you should focus on getting stronger ring, sword, and body. These are the things that are, you know, holding you back. I also think Symbol of Unity is good, but I think that if you could get Shepherd of the Hollow, which is Charon's artifact, that would be pretty good as well. But I think this is fine for a newer player. So yeah, I think that you should focus on getting, you know, better pieces on the body, the ring, and then the sword. I think your best chance to improve the character is probably the body, right? You're actually like really high on damage, right? So you don't have to worry as much about damage, right? Focus on getting speed crit chance and less on crit damage, right? 350 crit damage, 400, like with this speed, it's kind of, it's like overkill. People prefer Alexa's basket, says Solid. That could also work. Alexa's basket is better at Para. I guess I'm not up on the trends because I usually end up banning BBK. I don't play her as much. Like I'll play her if I have her, but like I don't like playing against her at all. Like Corrin's one of my favorite E7 characters, but like oh my god, her gameplay loop is awful. It's so toxic for this game. Elsa, what's going on, Bob? How are you? Yeah, again, those three pieces, just focus more on speed. You're already, like, don't let your attack go below 4,000. Keep your attack at 4,000, but you could sack critical hit damage to pick up speed. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to Egged. Okay. Okay, good speed, good damage. Your HP is a little low, but otherwise this is good. Oh, it's injury. Whoa. Okay, I thought this was speed. Whoa, this is fast as hell on injury. What the actual F? What in the world is this? Dude, this is wild. This gear should be on Solitaria. I actually think I agree with that. I actually think it should be on Solitaria. Nah, you need the crit. You have to. If you're playing on the injury set heavily relies on the number of enemies hit and the amount of damage dealt. I think this is like more of a flex. Like, do I think this is better than Speed Shoe? Hell no. I don't think this is better than Speed Shoe, but this is impressive. Obviously helmet is probably the biggest limiting factor. Honestly, I think I would rather have this build. I'd rather have this shoe at 260 speed instead of 268 with like 1,000 more HP. Like that's just me, right? I think I'd rather have that. So each star, it's impressive. It says she put out more. So she will injury stack faster than speed on one character, but she will overall generate less injury than a speed set one. You're actually overcapped on crit by 20%. Wait, if that's the case, maybe you consider crit damage. Maybe you consider health percentage necklace then. Yeah. Yeah. Well, White Trust is saying, yeah, if you can't have crit as a sub on anything if you're playing the necklace. That would require, I think if you went health percentage, right? It's something that you have to sit in math, right? Egg? You have to sit there and actually think about it and math it. If you went health percentage necklace, right? Could you realistically get a necklace that's health percentage main with crit rate and sufficient speed and also have sufficient crit rate on both the helmet and the sword? Because like those are the worst pieces, are the sword and the helmet. If you can make that work, right? If you could somehow find a way to make that work, right? You have a swap here on, like, for example, ring. You could just take the 42 out for 5 rate. It might be doable. If you're over by 20, right? And that swap would put you over, right? So if you're over by 20, right? You realistically have 120 or so crit rate. And then if you made that swap I just talked about, you'd be at 65. So you would only need 11 average on necklace, sword, helmet. I would go for it, man. If you can get 260 speed with like 23k HP on injury set, I think I'm taking that. I think I'm taking that deal. That sounds kind of cool because you're basically not really compromising anything from speed set. You're actually just getting speed set plus. But that would be really hard to do. Why is this on injury set? It does no damage? Man, I hate it here. I hate it here. Like, why do people do this to me? Why do people do this to me? Guys, there's a reason you build the character on crit and not ER sometimes. Operation Cream Pastry says damage dealt in amount recovered increased proportional to caster's max health. Right? Injuries decrease max health of the target by up to 25%. Notice the up to 25%. if you hit like a noodle, it does not give 25 injury. If you have crit and a little bit of crit damage, it hits the 25 injury. And then you get the injury from the passive. And then you get the injury of, what is it? Is it, how much is it on injury set? Right? 12%. So you effectively get 37% injury. So you, when you S3 somebody, if you have actual damage, you literally injure 40% of their health bar. That is the value of the injury set. Because then, on your next turn on Shu, you can S1 somebody that's not the first person that you injured. Because if you were on speed build, you'd have to go S3, S1 into the character. If you were on injury, you could S3 one character, S1 a different character to start damaging them down. And you would still have, when you go for the S3, just the insta-gib. You would still just kill them. Like, it basically guarantees you always have the execute. I don't know. I think this is sweet. I would try to make that health necklace pivot, though. If you can make it happen, do it. If you can't make it happen, still cool build. Hey, we got Volk. Looks good. Except for the ring. Bro, homie, like, Volcanix is out here, like, trying to prove me right. Dude, I think actually, I think Volcanix may have unintentionally proved me right from earlier in the stream. Right? So, I was talking about earlier in the stream how 15 speed is like a pretty clear indicator that the gear really isn't that good. Right? Because the only way you arrive on 15 speed on a piece is if you basically either high rolled a piece with 5 nat starting speed, or you low rolled an actual piece. But it somehow was still usable. So I'm looking at it. I think your necklace is good. Is boot good? That's like, is that like 17% defense or something like that? Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah. It's like 18%. Alright. Before everybody asks me, why did you look at Tenebria? They're the same stat line. Just the first one my eyes kind of went to. I agree that she's a must. I don't think this is bad. I think that, you might be right on the damage, right? Like, have you calced it? Does this kills Celine though, right? Does this kill even with Soulburn? You haven't gotten the time. I think with a book, you definitely kill. If I were you, I would worry more about your speed. Right, like I'm playing the old outdated counter Milim. I think if you're an aggro player, you need to, you probably like would want faster, no? My problem with Milim is that like Cancer, like Mage is such a good stat line, except for speed. Speed's the only thing that it struggles in. And that sucks because every Cancer Mage wants to be fast. None of them want to be slow. 19% defense from the boot flat. Alright, so I was not too far off. I was 18. Yeah, like I just think it's overall this is one of those things where it's just like we're fine. We're like okay with Milim like this, but realistically, most of our pieces, except for the necklace, just barely clear what we're looking for. So the only suggestion I could really give you is to just try to find like massively higher rolled gear pieces, right? Because like again, the only way for you to get 15 speed on a piece is to start with like 3 or 4 speed and then roll some 3s and 2s. Right? Like that's like kind of how it works, right? Like you have like a lot, like you either have to go, hey, like you basically have to roll 3 times in speed and it low roll for you to hit 15. Only other way is if you started with a 5. So like you just think about it this way, right? Your helmet, the only reason your helmet even remotely looks good is because you literally started with max attack and went max attack, max attack. If you didn't go max attack twice in a row, this piece would be dog. If this was average rolls, you'd have 19 or 20 attack on this. And then it looks a lot worse, right? Yeah, but here, yeah, I don't think you need the defense, right? Like, if you're just trying to blow up a Celine on Milim, you're just trying to blow up someone's spot, like, why do you care what her bulk is? Just do the thing. Like, if the character is designed to do one thing, just do the thing. Don't be cute about it. Right? Like, I know I'm a victim of that all the time, right? Like, I'll be like... Like, I'll build a character and I'll be like, oh, but, like, I could do this, you know? Trying to think of, like, an example of one that I might have, right? Yeah, so, like Frida, for example. Like, I used to play last season Frida in Standard, right? And I would be like, oh, but, like, you know, I have her at, like, 260 speed, and then, like, I've got, like, 200 ER, and oh, look, I've got, like, 17k HP, and it's like, no, dude, like, we have her at 270 so that Soul Constellation, she cuts, and I get value out of it. Like, just do the thing. Like, stop trying to be like, oh, but I could be this tanky. No, just do the thing. ATK was judging me for looking at Tenebria, apparently. Look. Is Tenebay still here? I was gonna say Tenebay is still here. I was gonna say you missed the ATK earlier. Tenebay came in here with like incredible boots on Luna, and I was like, what is going on here? This is on New Moon Luna, but I was like, these are like premium, like best on account boots, and you put them on New Moon Luna. Which was like a huge shocker. And then there was like a whole argument about how like Luna is the Little Caesars of waifus. Anyways, so this is King Afro here, trying to see if I should push for more crit damage or HP. Just wanted your thoughts. Damage. Well, they were implying that Tenebria was like artisanal fancy pizza and Luna was Little Caesars. I think you just want, yeah, damage is the big issue for you right now. Right? We definitely need, I think that the body piece is a bit rough, right? Good amount of HP, right? Yeah. So I think this is a case of like we loaded all of our HP onto these two pieces. I think what you should do, damn dude, those boots are like the best piece on the account. Ugh. See, what I did is I loaded it so that it's crit damage necklace, attack percentage ring, health percentage boots, so that way my left side didn't have to care about health, and then I just stacked, I think I just did the speed here. Actually, no, it is speed boots. Yeah, no, hold on. That's how I was originally doing. I'm on speed boots now. So the right side looks good. The ring is a little bit suspect, just because, like, this 2 needs to be, could be a 4, or this 12 could become a 14. And it's got to be one or the other. And it's probably got to end up being, unfortunately, the 2 has to become a 4 here, which doesn't solve your issue. Like, this character is so greedy with her stat distribution that you cannot afford any waste and you can't afford any low rolls. I think that you're going to have to reevaluate how your left side is structured. Your ring, like your necklace and your boots are fine. You need to come up with a different, like, setup for your left side and your ring. You want to try to go 4k attack and 300 crit damage, or 295, like, at the absolute lowest of the crit damage. Right? Character is, like, ridiculously hard to build. Like, super, super ridiculously hard to build. Alright. You can see, like, the gear you need on the character is just, like, unbelievably ridiculous to get her to work. This character is 460 gear score bust. I am inclined to agree, right? This for you guys like watching at home, this is 463. This is the strongest character on my account. She's so greedy, she needs a buff. Alright, guys, like, can we, like, be so real right now? If you buff this character, she is broken, right? Just because you can't gear the character, and I know people are not going to want to hear me say this, right? Just because you can't gear the character does not mean the character needs a buff, because if you buff the character so that it's easier for you to play Bystander Hua-Young, somebody like me, who already has the Bystander Hua-Young, is going to literally put you in the ground with her. Because the thing is, the only buffs you could give her don't fix everyone's problem with her. Everyone's problem is, I don't have the gear to build Bystander Hua-Young. That is everyone's problem with this character. They can't build it. So they want the devs to buff it so that they can make it easier to gear. But the thing is, the people who already can gear it, if you make it easier for them, they're just going to be like, oh, look at all these free stats that are available, and then they're just going to make an even more insane one. I don't think it's geared because she can't survive. Dude, if this character was harder to kill than she already is, everybody would complain every single game how Bystander Hua-Young ruins the game. Because everybody would just go Sigurd's counter. You would spend the whole match dumping every attack into Hua-Young, and if she counters with any regularity, you literally just lose the game on the spot. But, right? If you went for somebody other than Hua-Young, you just lose. It's like the Blood Moon Haze problem. Like, if you make her harder to kill, right? If you make this character harder to kill, she just becomes this character again. Like, do you want 2 of these in the format? Because I sure as shit don't. It's already obnoxious enough that I have to play against this character and Dragon Bride Senya and BBK in the same game. But now you want me to play against a second haste? So I have to play against a Senya with a Hua-Young behind it. That's basically a haste, and then also a haste. So I can't kill anything. I literally have to cleave or I die. I have to seal or cleave or die. It's an awful, awful gameplay loop. Yeah. But to go back to the point, King, it's just we need more damage. And I think that you have to keep your necklace, you keep your boots, and you reevaluate how you could structure the left side in the ring. We're gonna move right on off of that one onto Rebkali here. Looking to max her imprints at some point. What pieces should I be looking to replace in the future? Okay. Okay, so you have the attack. You have the speed. Sort of. You're missing the crit damage. You're missing some HP. So... why does it feel like I'm missing stats? Aw. The crazy thing is, it's the speed. Holy hell, it's actually the speed. Are we overcapped on crit? Good question. 27, 47, 59, 74, 91. We are over crit. Yeah, we're over cap. You have too much crit chance. Good catch, Volcanics. Yeah, you have too much crit chance. So obviously, like, body then becomes like the worst piece by default. But what I would say is I think I would consider maybe boots, right? Because like I number crunch this a lot. Like I number crunch the ever loving shit out of Hua Young to get to where I'm at right here. Right? So like when it came down to it, I had the helmet, ring, and necklace done. And I needed to figure out what was the best possible stat distribution. And I arrived at speed boots with a bunch of attack and health just give you the best window forward to having the most usable build. Right? Like boots like these that I'm wearing are like the optimal way to try to actually push the character. Like, because you have to have high attack and you have to have high health on the boots, or just, and high speed. You have to have all three of those things, or it's just not going to line up right. So, if I were you, if we're already over, if you're going to get imprints, right? Because you're going to have to get triple S imprint. Like, that's just the reality of playing this character. If you want to play this character, you have to have triple S imprint. It's impossible otherwise. Right? So, considering that we're going to have to drop like 20 crit or more, this might be the time to abandon these boots, pick up some speed boots, and start like figuring stuff out on your left side and whatnot. Because like, you have all of these pieces that are dedicated towards speed, and like we have a 7, a 12, a 13, and a 16, right? So like 7 is like, oh, we got a mid roll. Oh, you know, 12 is we rolled probably too high, right? Yeah, that's looking like a perfect piece there. And then 13 is like the same thing. Would you say that Villager is better than deleting a unit? Okay, so I've played the 200 speed Destro one, and it didn't kill everything I needed it to. So that said to me, okay, character, no matter how you build her, there's some things that you're just not gonna be able to kill without Soulburn. Right? There's just some stuff that you just can't kill. Like there are some people who have Dragon Bride Sendias that are just that good. Right? And then I was like, okay, so I go counter. But base speed counter, if she doesn't counter, like actually get any counters, she doesn't do anything. Right? So the only like way that made sense for me was, what if I just play in between? I play slightly less speed and damage than Destro, but I play way more speed than the counter set. And that's how this came about. Yeah. So I think if you're going to play counter, like originally I said base speed, right? Like, because I know many streams ago I gave people the advice, hey, base speed bystander is the way, right? I have since like changed my position on that, because I was surviving everything on counter bystander at like base speed. Like I was living forever. But what ended up happening is they would just kill everything around bystander Hua Young slowly, not trigger her passive, and then she would have to 1v4. And unless I was like the miracle child where I countered everything, she didn't do anything. Like Volcanics has it exactly right. Base speed bystander Hua Young counter set is just a bad Navy Captain Landy. Because it's like, it's basically, it's like, okay, I need my Landy to counter salvo, but I don't have Elber's Ritual Sword. So, yeah. So, just like looking back at this one here, this build again, right? I think this would be the time, if you don't have the crit rate already and you're already overcapped on crit, this is the time to jump ship, I think, on your attack boots, right? And then just redo the character, basically. Go Stay on the same necklace, and then go for like attack percentage on your ring, and then go speed on your boots, and then from there try to get everything to line up. Hello, Spatial. Yeah. I would say right now, the hardest character to build in the game is Arya for most players. And I think Bystander is probably number 2. Right? Character is just insanely difficult to get. Like, that's what... This is why, I'm sure you noticed, those are 2 event crafted pieces. Because it's just actually, like, nearly impossible to get everything to line up. Yeah, the crazy part is Arya gets free stats. Yeah, Arya got 30 free crit rate. Or whatever. What I'm trying to say is, if they bring back another craft event piece, and Bystander's still good, take it. Alright? My advice used to be on crafting events like the choose your own ones like we just had, the one that's ending like today or whatever. My position used to be, take a generically good piece. My position now is, within reason, take a ridiculously good, like, specialized piece. But you want it to be one that you could at least pass off, right? Like, if you look at that body piece that's on Hua Yang, that is specialized to Bystander Hua Yang. But in the future, I could move it to, like, Apocalypse Robbie, and I won't hate it. Granted, the boots above my head are a lot harder to repurpose. But yeah. Basically, pick a character. Like, this is why ATK is like best Luna world, by the way. Pick a character you like, character you play all the time. Make hyper specialized gear for them. Okay. Next one up here is Caleb. Caleb says this is an Elvira appreciation post, Umu. Because this lovely and extremely good-looking lady deserves more love in the game, in my opinion. Any tweaks, comments, or suggestions are appreciated as always. Alright, so take everything off the character. There's my advice. No, I'm kidding. Yo. Oh, yo, what's going on, Hino? How you doing? Yeah, ATK is an inspiration to all of us. Yeah, but no, seriously, like, ATK for the longest time was like, no, bro, like, don't get generic pieces. Just get the best pieces for the waifu. I'm like, anymore, Epic 7 is literally just, for those events, it's just better to take a character you play all the time, specialize a ridiculous piece on them, have like legend tier of that character if you play it every game. Because again, we just talked about the Fribbles Prio earlier that somebody asked about like a hour ago, right? If you're going to play Lone Wolf Payra every game, why would you not just put the best possible gear on the character, right? Like, I like Karina, so I was like, I'm just going to play Bystander every game, right? So I'm going to play Bystander every game. Why would I not just have the most insane Bystander I can get? The DPS Elvira one-shot my ML Luna? That's crazy. I mean, you pretty much got it, right? Kalem's like, you pretty much got it. Like, there's not really much else I can say to you. Like, you have swaps, right? But, like, I don't think I have to explain to you swaps. Like, 39 def here, if you could swap that, like, assuming that this 9 health is not already a swap, you just swap that to defense, right? But, like, the mark of a good Elvira is, like, decent speed, 240 plus, 100 F, 260, like, 250, 260 ER, right? The rest of the stats don't matter. Right, like, you're on Hostess. You have 300 ER, 100 F, 260 speed, and you don't die on one hit. Like, what else can I say? Like, aside from the fact that this is the best looking character in the game, that's the absolute, like, most dog shit unplayable in the meta, there's not much else I can say. Legitimately, my favorite episode 5 character. Like, we joke, we have Luna, and then Payra's Wolf Luna, Elvira is Vampire Luna. Like, the problem is that she's not very good gameplay wise. Trust me, it makes me... Elvira will make a comeback with Teiyu coming out. That's maybe. I mean, you could just play Sea Phantom Politis and it does the same thing and it's an actual playable unit. You could just play Green Celine and it does the same thing and it's an actual playable unit. You could play Red Politis and it does the same thing and it's an actual playable unit. Technically, you could also play Abyssal Euphine and it does the same thing, except it's an actual playable unit. Dude, I hate it. Trust me, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I think this character is so well written in the terms of story. I think her lore is great. I think her appearance is awesome. The fact that she's Lightning from Final Fantasy 13 as her VA is super awesome to me. That is not lost to me. Right? Like, I remember playing a lot of Final Fantasy 13 going, damn, dude, Lightning is so cool. So having Lightning be a E7 character, I was like, this character, so awesome. Gameplay-wise, character is just, like, the most yawn-inducing thing ever. Like, I feel like they made this character and we're just like, how can we ensure that this character is unplayable? Like, this character, like, the fact that her S3 has the Zeo clause where it actually can't kill unless you seal her. Like, her S3 legitimately cannot kill you unless she is sealed. Right? And then her S1 does that laughable amount of damage. Like, what are we doing here? It feels like they railroaded the hell out of this character. Can't kill claws on S3. Can't crit. No damage multipliers. Right? Like, she's... If you play Marvel Rivals, you probably know that people refer to Black Panther as the tickle monster. This character is the tickle monster of E7. She does a lot of, like, flashy animations, and it results in literally no damage. She's literally just like, blah, and then you're like, that's it? Like, you barely feel it. Oh yeah, Caleb's, that's exactly it. Just look at her. People will summon her just because of how she looks, regardless of her kit. That is exactly what I feel happened. Right? It's either that or the character needed to go out the door, right? They basically, like, the mission assignment for Elvira and design was, we need a character that counters Landy and Abyssal. So that was Elvira. So the core thing of her kit is you can't gain Fighting Spirit. That was the whole point of her kit, right? And in testing, it probably was bullshit broken. And they were just like, well, we can't release a bullshit broken unit after we just had Awakened Potential get everybody fired. Well, the character's got to go out the door. What can we do? So they just put a bunch of restrictions on it to make sure she wasn't broken, but could still do the thing that they needed her to do, and then just went, have a nice life, and kicked her out the door. I could 1000% see that be the case. I've had that happen where card sets have to go off to the printer. We have like 12 hours, and it's like, well, we need it to be a Silver Bullet sideboard for this archetype, but it's too busted. All right, well, just make it so that it does the thing we need it to do and just hamstring everything else. And you just throw it out the door. Because, like, it's better to make something underpowered and throw it out the door and then adjust later than to throw something that breaks the game out the door and be like, ah, shit, the backlash. Okay, we move on to next. The next one is NEMM. It's a Tori and says RTA carry with the flex emoji. Actually pretty good. Damage is really good on this. Windrider, yeah, this is pretty much as good as it gets, right? I mean, you have a swap here on your boots. You could change the 6% defense to 9% defense. Like, if you just want to get free points, like, no reason not to. Even the flat attack's good here. You could change the 3 speed to 4, get the nice 202. Yeah, it's just a really good Tori. All right. Hey, I thought for a second this was a Mac. Like, the window looks like the Mac OS, but it's just blue stags. So this one's from Prince. Prince says this is my favorite character. All right, good attack. Crit damage is a little low, right? Obviously, you're missing that last imprint, so I think like this is good, right? I think the only way that this gets better is what I talked about earlier. You're gonna have to change the build to speed boots, right? That's kind of it. Like, you could use some more crit damage and some more speed, but like otherwise, like it's not, unless you pivot off of these boots onto speed boots and rework the whole build from the ground up, it's not really gonna change, right? I think this is very good as is. I think only if you really want to chase like min-max like I did, like this one. Like if you want to chase this one, you're gonna need the speed boots, right? You're gonna need the speed boots. But like if you're not trying to do that, then this is perfectly fine as is. Yeah. 2 more Sigurd Scythes would go a long way, yeah. Definitely make sure you get your good Sigurd Scythe on Bystander. She's definitely the one that needs it the most. Alright, so we have Adoran up next. With, why is it not opening? Adoran's up next. It says, my Elegoat, wondering what you think is the weakest piece overall and if he should be faster. Okay, so currently, I'm not the best Elagos player, right? I just started using him. Like, I'm just using him now for the first time because, you know, I don't normally play aggro, but I'm trying to learn to play aggro this season. I've kind of been playing him at 280. All right, like this is how I have him at. So, your damage is just better than mine. But like, we're mostly like roughly about the same. Also, Ryan, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you. And yet they release Harsetti the way she is. You're talking about game balance. So the thing about Harsetti is Harsetti's a boss character. The player base has gotten this like, ever since Bellion, right? Because Bellion was so nuts for a boss character. People have had, and Zio was nuts. Like, people just had this expectation. Bellion was nuts. The boss character has to be nuts, right? Because the boss character always does something that, like, no other character does. So, like, people got it in their head. Oh, boss character, only thing that seals passives. Oh, boss character, only character that can kill things in one hit. Boss character makes it so I can't have souls. So, the community sent a signal to the devs. We like it when the boss character is really strong and does things that warp the game. Weakest piece, though.
Take away the bodies.
Weakest piece on the character. Shoes or body? It's probably shoes or body. Probably body. Actually, it's more inclined to say it's body, yeah. Actually, Ring has the health percentage, which you don't need. Ring? I think it's... Is it Ring? Ring, probably. Yeah, Ring has the least relevant things you need. You could push for more speed here, and even if you gave up crit damage, it wouldn't hurt you. And the health doesn't matter. Yeah. So for me, like I said, I'm playing roughly the same build as you. You have more damage. I have like 5 more speed. No problem. All right, let's move on to Arc. Arc over here. Is this the... No, okay, it's not. I was like, is this the Tooth Para that I've heard so much about? 300 speed, obviously good. You're over 70 F, that's good. High attack, Spirit Purification. Seems good if you get outsped. This is one where I will defer to other players. Like, let me know what you think of this para. I'm not a fan of this style of para, right? But, like, I certainly think this is good. Yeah, in a long game, it will hit hard. But the thing is, it's, like, not very tanky. See, I built my para to be like a Conqueror Lilius, right? My para is very, very tanky. My para is designed to sit on the board for a very, very long time, right? So I don't know how other people feel, but mine is, like I said, designed to just sit there 5 ever. To just accrue value over the course of a game. Yeah, it's the downside to it. So I think when I look at this, I think this is good, right? I think honestly, because you're already at 300 speed, like if you get outsped, you got, right? Like you could play Spear. I would consider maybe Uberius' Teeth. I think Oob Tooth is worth a consideration. If not, just stick with Purification. Yeah. So Solid says if this is if this is the best speed at 302, that's fine, but the tankiest is better than the attack. Yeah. Yeah, Tooth would be best in slot with this kind of build, no cap. Alright, see you, Twilight. Thanks for watching. Yeah. Emalua cooks that para. Yeah. Greg, you were saying, I think 280 speed with higher health and Spear would be better. Lua cooks her so much. I mean, ML Lua is kind of OP. And you don't have to take my word for it, by the way. You don't have to take my word for it about ML Lua being OP, bro. Highest win rate hero in the game. Bellion, by the way, every day moves up like 0.1% win rate. Bellion slowly creeping up. Also, Para outdoing New Moon Luna in terms of win rate. Don't forget, guys, she's not broken. Bellion, Hellion, Lua is legit. Yes, it is. It's so broken. This is Epic 7 RTA stats. Wait, why is Schneel so high? Schneel is really high just because, like, he's surprisingly, like, it's weird. The high tempo drafts are just good with him. Alright, so here we go. Undone wants you to see the win rate, right? Like, who does you, like, when Para played against, right? So look at his win rate. He wins the majority of his games versus what's his name? DDR, right? Yeah. Yeah, what Sputnik is saying, right? So okay. The concept of why Schneel has got such a high win rate is it's basically like I hate using card game analogies, but it's the easiest way for me to do it, right? So it's like stacks, right? So stacks in card games are these types of cards that are permission cards. Like Bellion is a stacks card, right? It's like a stacks piece. It stops your opponent from doing a thing. If you've played Yu-Gi-Oh, hand traps are basically stacks pieces. They stop you from doing a thing. Illinav is a stacks or like a permission piece. You can't really play penetration into Illinav. You can't play souls into Bellion, right? Schneel says you can't play Venom into me. You can't play that strategy into me. The thing is, when you play a stacks card, you need something that breaks parity, right? So Bellion breaks parity because she stops you from having, your opponent from having souls. But one, you still have the souls. And two, Bellion is a legitimate win condition. So your opponent is affected and you are not, and you can gain advantage off of it. Schneel stops your opponent from doing the Venom thing, but doesn't actually bring anything else to the table. So in the past, you needed something that could break the parity. And in the previous formats, it was a death sentence to pick DPS early, outside of like maybe BBK, right? But in the current format, when Rat is just straight up jammable on turn 1, right? Rat breaks parity versus everything unless you answer it. So if I have Rat on 1 and then I have Schneel under ban protection, my stacks piece is a lock and my early pick literally breaks the parity. And then you have to spend your whole draft either hard committing to banning the Rat, in which case I could dedicate my 4-5 into other pieces that break parity, or you just lose. Right? It's what Sputnik was saying exactly. Like, the Rat lets you play Schneel and legitimately, like, clock your opponent. Because, like, if Schneel and DDR are in the game becomes a 3v3. So if we have a 3v3 situation, and I have Pair a Rat, you can take nearly any other 3 characters in the game. I'm probably winning that game. Right? Like, they trade. Schneel DDR is just a trade. And then it's whoever has the stronger draft. But, like, if I'm taking Rat early and you take DDR, right? Like, I've checked your early DDR and I'm already ahead. Yeah, stacks is another word for floodgate. Correct. Yeah, floodgates are what people call them in Yu-Gi-Oh! They're stacks pieces in Magic. It's all similar stuff, right? Like, in fighting games like Street Fighter, it's footsies. In Smash Brothers, it's spacing. It's just different syntax for the same thing. Hootie says I just picked this up today. Alright, hold on. Yep, Brett already... No! This guy, bro! This guy, dude. Hold on. There we go. All right, so he showed the piece. He got banned. This is literally rich getting richer all the time, bro.
We're done here. Take away the bodies.
Arc. So we looked at arcs. Yeah, so here is another stacks piece. This is from Big Mark. Prince, I saw your other one. Again, I only do 1 per person per stream. So there's another stacks piece, right? Literally says, the reason why Harsetti is such a clusterfuck of a character is because she's a stacks piece, but you can't ever reasonably break parity. That's why she sucks. Because it's like, okay, here's a character that puts the game in a floodgate slash stacks setting, right? Where she floodgates or stacks the game out. How do you break parity? And it's like, you can't. That's why it's shit designed, because like, stacks is inherently unfun to play against, but like, at least if it navigates to a pretty, like, you know, clear, concise game, like, win, it's fine, right? Like in Yu-Gi-Oh! They floodgate you pass back to them because you can't win through it. And if you don't have the counter floodgate, cool, they win. The problem with Harsetti is she just ruins the state of the game and like, you can't capitalize off of it. It's awful. It's miserable. Yeah, she's what when you take the concept and you design it badly. Anyways, so we're trying to figure out Abellion, right? I think that you are too heavy on crit damage. So we have 60 crit chance, not enough crit damage. So I think if I was you, definitely not these boots, right? These boots, health percentage good, attack percentage bad, speed very bad on this character. So definitely different boots. You want to try to minimize the speed you have on the character overall, right? So ideally, you don't want this helmet, right? Yeah, you don't want like a lot of these things, I think. I think the sword could be... 39 health is a lot. The sword is actually pretty good despite the attack. I don't think I played the helmet. I think the body is okay. And I think the ring is also alright. If you're going to play Fairy Tale for a Nightmare, I think it's okay. But like, helmet, definitely shoes, and probably necklace, they probably get yeeted to the wind, maybe. Actually, maybe the ring, the necklace is not that bad. I definitely don't think I'm playing the helmet and the boots though. Like, those definitely get gone. Right? So I have found from my time playing with Harsetti that you really want more HP, and the crit damage is not as impactful. I mean, to be fair, you're on Destro, so it is a little bit more impactful. Like, I'm on Injury, right? But, like, the key takeaway you'll notice here is, like, it's triple HP right side. I really don't have that much speed at all on my build. I'm trying to minimize it, like, only single-digit numbers whenever possible, right? And I want the higher health, right? Because the thing is, if somebody lets you have Harsetti, they want out of it immediately. They're going to hard focus Harsetti. They're going to try to get her, like, killed nearly instantly, right? So I think you should focus on picking up some more defense, more HP if you can, making sure your crit hit chance goes up to 100%, and scaling back on critical hit damage, like, even just a little bit. Like, if you have to go, like, 240, that's fine. But, like, right now, at 60%, that's not going to be it. Personally, like, I think you could even go, like, as low as, like, 200. Like, I mean, yes, does it waste the Destro set? Yeah, kinda. But, like, the value of Harsetti is just sit on the board, accrue value through having the turn order locked, and then just Fairy Tale for a Nightmare. And the death breaks that come from it. Like, that's kind of it. I'm kind of over, like, trying to go full damage Harsetti. Yeah, Injury Harsetti is value, yeah. You're, like, that's what we're talking about when I said, like, the stacks thing, right? You're trying to... The pieces you're trying to accrue... Break parity by accruing value. Injury accrues value. Fairy Tale for a Nightmare accrues value over time. The problem is that it's like, it's very inconsistent that you get value off the character. But yeah, hopefully, Big Mark, that kind of helps you, like, you know, what you should focus on. Right? Again, more defense, less speed, maybe some more health. And definitely get your crit chance up. Alright, so this one's so solid. I one-tapped this character last night. Would this work? Low gear score since Immune is a must in this meta, and the better pieces are on more played heroes. You need more F. You definitely need more F. I think everything else is fine, more F. Like, I think you can go as low as 250 speed if you think you could realistically protect her somehow. Like, you can secure the turn. But I think you definitely want more F. Like, 150, I think, is, like, the lowest I would play on this character. Because, like, she really doesn't do a lot unless she has high F. Yeah, I think I would rework your boots to try to get more F here, and I think I would get an I would consider F necklace, F ring, and like health necklace. Okay. Yeah, Nuns, I don't know if you can hear me, but so I have to kind of wrap it in like 25 minutes or so. So if I don't get to you guys, I will tag you, right? Like, I'm going to try to go as fast as I can in the next like 25 minutes or so. But if I don't get to you guys, like, unfortunately, I have a place I have to be. I have to be somewhere at 5, and it takes me about 40 minutes to get there. So hopefully no traffic. Right, so like I said, like at 4 on the dot, I basically got a split spill. Like, there's just no, it's not really negotiable. I got to split. ATK, I would not skip yours. No, I will tag everybody. I will always tag everybody. Okay, so this one's Asura's cards. Another fellow. Is this another fellow card?
Foolish whelp. I
totally misclicked there. I literally was trying to click the image and it literally moved me into Jass's stream. That's so funny. I'm trying to click the stream here. I'm like trying to click the image because I wanted to see if they were like an actual card game player. It was like, nope, you're in Jass's stream now.
We're done here. Take away the bodies.
Anyways, it says, I'm not sure with this unit. Okay. So... your attack is way too low on Hua-Young. Okay, so Hua-Young as a character.
Obey me.
Yeah, wait, we're live. So Hua-Young as a character, I'm not gonna tell you I have like the best Hua-Young, right? But like Hua-Young as an actual like honest to goodness character, right? Is 220 speed, 4,800 to 5k attack, like minimum. torrent set. And I know, like, you're on immunity, and I'm sure, like, immunity is the new hotness in this meta, but I'll be real with you. If you are playing Huayong, the character is just there to literally dust a character, and then you're out. It's the same thing that we talked about when Volcanics had Milam. The whole point of Huayong is I come in, I press this button, it dies. I get out. Like, I don't care if I die after that. So you're only picking Huayong in situations where you know she's getting a turn, you know she's kicking, you know she's killing. So 4,800 plus attack, ideally 5,000 plus attack, torrent set. 220 plus speed on the character. Everything else is luxury. You don't need anything else. So like just going back and looking at this, 4,450, way too low, right? Just pump up the damage. Like however you can get it, just pump up the damage. And you need torrent set. You have to have, she doesn't do enough damage. Like they literally hard nerfed this character. When they reworked her, they wanted to make sure that you had to go through a bajillion hoops for her to kill something in one hit. They don't want her to kill in one hit. You can still get her to kill in one hit. It's just 5k attack plus torrent set. 220 plus speed. I'd argue anything under 5k on torrent set is pointless. I would agree with that. I mean, mine is on leftover gear. Like the one I just showed you. Like you can see this is on some pretty trash gear. Like I have 380s. This is all terrible gear. I'm just doing it because I wanted to have it for red lobbies. This is just spare gear for red lobbies. Insane gear? No, don't even lie to me. That's terrible. Yeah, you need, yeah. So Ice Lord saying plays 250 speed, 5k attack torrent to one-shot Morts. Yeah. Like, you don't even need HP on this. It's just, again, the mine was just for red lobbies. I wanted her to have some HP for red lobbies. But really, you should just be torrent 5k as fast as you can get it. Alright. Move on to Mad Brad here. Running Bastion for more ER on her and ML Para. I know boots need work. So we have ER Rat. Oof, ER Rat is yeah, dude, those boots are really, really bad. Okay, yeah, boots gotta go. Ring is good. You have a swap for speed, I assume. Speed gets 4 unless you use it on defense. Necklace is okay, not great. Body is also okay, not great. Helmet is also okay, not great. Yeah, dude, it's just a bunch of solid pieces. Like, I think that the big one to change is boots. Like, if you can get, like, boots that are even, like, remotely, like, those boots are just, like, it's just the boots. The boots are, like, the major thing. Get boots and you're probably golden. After that, I would look to probably maybe get a necklace that doesn't have, like, wasted stats or just higher gear score on the left side in general. Like, you have a bunch of, like, passable left side gear. Nothing's really elite. Yeah. So, if it was me, definitely new boots and then try to get some better left side stuff. Alright. We got nuns here. What is this? So how do I fix this? No Lorena, in all serious... Okay. In all seriousness, though, I need to find a use for my pen boots, which rolled into all that effectiveness from forever ago. I figured having a second Zia makes sense. Any remove for... I assume you need room for improvement. Also have a DPS one, too. Just there, because why not? Okay, so, like, which one am I reviewing here? Okay. Okay, so this is an F1. This is a hybrid one. And then this one's supposed to be for damage. That damage is certainly good. I'll be real with you. Why would you ever play this one when you have this one? Like, this one's just like the generic, like... Damn, those boots are kind of cracked. I mean, this one here, the left side, the sword is the only thing that really stands out. And then This one, body not super great. Rest of it's fine. Only other thing I could say is that like both of them like are speed tuned so that they would be like their speed is good for champion or like low emperor. Once you start pushing for like higher emperor or like legend, like 258 might not cut it. Like even I've been playing Zeo like not crazy fast right now, right? Like I'm at 262 and I've actually gotten outsped before. Which, by the way, to get outsped on a 260 Zeo is kind of wild, right? 260 Zeo means that they're like 315, 320 almost. So, some people just have way too much speed gear. But yeah, I think sword on this one, body on this one. Right. And overall, if you could pick up the speed, that would be good. Hey, we got Alan. Alan's up next. So we have a Landy. Torrent, yo, you monster! You actual monster! Holy shit, what a flex. Dude, this thing is crazy! Oh my god, and it's not triple S. No way. Wow. Can I have this? Can I just have this? This is cracked. Yeah, if I see this candy, it's on site. Yo, like this is, dude, and it's not even triple S, dude. Yeah, see, a 262 Zeo gets outsped by 327 speed, which would be a 315 speed unit plus Wanderer Silk Imprint. Yep. Yo, Alan says can't really type right now. Yeah, this is cracked. I have no changes. This is absolutely insane. This is the best damage Landy I've seen in months. Like, actually wild. Okay, so this one's from Nick Crow. I mean, he says, please be a slow Harsetti, sad face. The hell am I looking at? What the? Yo, Village Zeo? That's so funny, dude. Alright, this is actually fire. Dude, I think this is so funny. This is so funny, dude. Imagine picking this into Harsetti, and it's like Elmage on Harsetti with like a 300 speed one. Yo, this is actually really funny, dude. I like this a lot. I think this is sick. This is actually sick. I worry though, like, is this your only Zeo? Because this is your only Zeo, I start to worry. Because, like, fast Zeo is really important to have. Yeah, this is actually really cool. I like this a lot. Next up is Ari. Ari asks, are there any use for these boots? Arby? Counter Arby? Oh, Bystander Huayong. Yeah. Bystander Huayong works. Counter Luna is also another one. It's basically a counter attack scaling DPS. Like, I know that's some shocking revelation. Counter boots with attack percentage main stat. They're good on counter characters that use attack. Oh my god. Yeah, no. Bystander is probably the most meta relevant character that can use these. Speaking of which, Divine Halo post says, just want to see what you got to say. It's clearly trash. You got a lot of Hua already. You can skip mine if you want. Oh, don't worry. You edited after watching. Oh, no. Oh, don't be like that. I like the idea behind Ryuji, the Wukong artifact. I think that's pretty sick. Unfortunately, this character needs Sacred Scythe. Unfortunately, it needs Sacred Scythe. Yeah, this character, like, don't let it discourage you, Divine, like, at all. Like, the character's, like, I literally just said it. It is the second hardest character to build in the game, in my opinion. Like, it's not, you know, there's no shame in saying that you can't build bystander. Like, of what you have, right? Like, you've probably watched enough of this at this point, so you know, like, you want a Sacred Scythe, right? Speed boots with crazy stats, attack percentage ring, or, you know, or even health if you have crazy attack on your other subs. Crit damage necklace, Sacred Scythe, counter pen, and then just try to start looking for good subs. You pretty much got the idea. Like 4,000 attack, 300 crit damage or so, 100 crit chance. You're gonna need imprints, right? Obviously save for any collabs, but you know, in the coming weeks to months, like if you really want to invest in the character, open up a story summon for Hua Young, roll for some Hua Youngs. You don't want any defense on the character at all because her passive gives you a bunch of defense for free, right? And then just from there, try to get like 15, 16k HP. If you can go more, like 17 and change, do it. Nuns, I literally just passed you. You go check the VOD on YouTube. Alright. Let me move on to Friedrich here. So, 200 ER Lone Wolf Para. But why? That's my question. Okay, so I don't know why I'd go ER Lone Wolf Para unless I don't own Sweet Miracle. That's kind of it. That's the only reason I could fathom seeing this build. I actually don't know Spatial. So, yeah, this is one of those ones where like you'd have to explain to me why this one, right? Because we don't have bulk, right? We don't have speed. We have a bunch of ER so that they can't mess with us, but like most things that would interrupt you anyway, you can kind of dodge. And the other stuff that does interrupt you, like New Moon Luna, for example, like, maybe this is a bad example because you could just like cleanse out of it, but like, I don't know what you get out of it, right? I just don't know what we get out of the ER, right? Like, it's just, yeah, it's decent into Sea Phantom Politis, right? And the thing is, like, I don't want to be playing Para into Sea Phantom anyway unless I'm confident I'm winning that speed race. Right? If I'm on the back foot versus Sea Phantom, like, that's wrong. Even versus Sea Phantom, you know, right? Like, if they have book, like, you're just screwed. Like, what if they go like Sea Phantom ADS and it's book ADS? Like, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, so like aside from like not having Sweet Miracle, I don't see a reason to play this version of Para. I treat her like Laya, right? I treat Lone Wolf Para like she's either an opener, like an enabler. Like you treat her like a Conqueror Lilius that's primarily skewed dark-centric aggressive teams, or you treat her like a Laya, right? Just pick one. Either she's your Laya or she's your opener, right? And this one, I don't think it's not. Like, you wouldn't build Laya on 200 ER, right? Like, you wouldn't build 270 speed Laya on ER. That's kind of... You're on Sweet Miracle for that. You'd rather just focus your efforts into more speed or more HP. You're trying this build out, Frederick? Well, I mean, I just don't know, like, what are we playing it into? Right? Like, what does it beat? Like... The character with 0 ER already answers New Moon Luna, right? If you get outsped by Sea Phantom, right? Like, that's like the only time. Like, if they don't have burn on Sea Phantom, that's like the only time that it makes sense. Is if they're on Sea Phantom Politis and they don't have a mage. But, like, my whole thing is... If you are playing this build just to answer Sea Phantom Politis because you can't win against Sea Phantom Politis otherwise, that suggests to me that you should probably ban Sea Phantom Politis. Right? I think like this is like this is a very strange build to me. I just don't see logistically how it gives you an advantage to win the game. Yeah, but the thing is, even if you are against Muna, right? Let's say you were 300 speed, 0 ER, and Muna goes ahead of you. All right, S2, you have a 50-50 chance of winning that, right? If she seals you, cool, you just press S3. You're out. Like, Para beats Luna. As long as you're smart about your cooldowns, Para wins that matchup. So you don't need to worry about Muna. You only have to worry about Polly. Yeah, it is Friday already, Sin. We're coming down to the wire, though. Thanks for the feedback. Would it make sense to take the damage here and move the gear elsewhere and keep the hybrid one? I would just try to improve your hybrid one, man. Like, I think having two Zeos is like a luxury, and like if you already don't have like godly gear on other characters, I would just take, like, that was some pretty good damage gear. I'd just move it to a better character. Not necessarily a better character, but you know what I mean? I'd move it to a different character that probably needs the help. Also, yo, what's going on, Sin? Yeah, it's not, like I said, I'm not going to be here too much longer. I got to bolt in 5 minutes, so. Because like I said, I have somewhere I have to be at 5, and I'm going to be driving into rush hour traffic. It takes like 35-40 minutes to get there. So like, as soon as like we roll up to 4, I got to go. But yeah, Friedrich, like I said, I'll let you like kind of figure it out. Like, if you want to experiment with this build, go for it. But me personally, I think a more like a higher speed build on like Spear or Tooth with some decent attack would be better, or you build it like how I have mine, where it's like it's reasonably fast. Like mine's like 300 with a bunch of bulk, right? Like I would consider like that one, right? Like mine's like Omega Turbo tanky. So okay, let's move on to Trini here. I heard this guy is one of the best protection sets. Wondering if this build is serviceable and what speed if I had to switch to prot set. Okay, so usually like protection set tanks are like 170, like 160 to 190, anywhere in that range. You actually have good speed. And your HP is also quite good. I actually think this is good. Like, I think if the only thing I would change, I would get some more ER, Trini. I think this is perfectly good as is. Also, get your damn EE to 10, bro. Like, you can literally trade in for a perfect one at this point. Missing Awakening? I didn't even realize that. Yeah, get the Awakening. Yeah, if you can pick up your ER anywhere, that would be fantastic. I don't know how you would go about doing that. It's probably... I'll leave that for you to figure out. It's just if you get more ER, that's good. I want to at least try to get Twilight and Undone before I have to head out. I know Twilight already left on YouTube, but they'll be able to check the VOD. Right? Trying to go a little, like I said, a little bit faster, right? Cookie says for prot set, any speed with speed stat main boots is good, and consider running a Holy Sack depending on how you draft him. Adamant is nice if you mainly take him into cleave, but in more standard matchups you tend to take a lot of damage, and Holy Sack really helps get the Estria. Yeah, honestly, I should level up my second Holy Sack and try that myself. Alright, see you, Azuma. Alright, so this one was Twilight, Rebuilder for fun. What do I think? I think your attack's good, effectiveness is good, bulk is good. If you could pick up some speed, that would be ideal on this, right? Like, that's a lot of defense on the helmet, but otherwise the helmet doesn't offer a lot. Low rolls on the sword in general. Okay, but not great rolls on the necklace. I think these are the 3 pieces I would look to pick up, right? I mean, you have more bulk than I do, but like to give you an idea of like what I'm playing this right now. So. Alright. Let's grab Undone. Alright, so here's Undone. Okay. I think Undone, looking at it, HP is the only thing you really need. I think this is good as is. If you could get more HP, that would be ideal. But other than that, I don't think that there's anything realistically that I could recommend on this one. Because, like, you're not too far off me. Like, you're faster than me, right? You're faster than me with more defense, but I have more HP, which means my 3F hits harder. So consider maybe going like killing a little bit of speed if it means a drastic jump in HP. Like I have 2,000 more HP than you. Like, because this character does like astronomical amounts of damage once you start to go up like this high on HP. That's like personal preference though. If you think the speed is more beneficial to you, then go for it. All right, let me see if I can grab one more. All right, I'll grab the one from Sputnik because I saw Sputnik put a joke one after this one. Okay. Grab Jupiter. So Jupiter says I can make her to 17k HP at base, but I'm unsure. No, I don't think you want to play base H. Like I just explained it earlier from like all the other bystanders. I don't think that it's worth it to go base anymore. I think that like base is just like an RNGesus and Prey against good players. They'll just completely run you over. Yeah, I think if I were you, I would convert some of your damage into to speed or health. That would be ideal. Yeah, some of these pieces are really good. Ooh. Necklace is kind of like what's kind of rocking the boat here. All of your attack is locked up in the necklace because it's trying to compensate for the lack of crit damage. This might be one of those cases where like this is as good as it gets because like you kind of, we talked about it earlier, like you kind of really have to hard commit to like crit damage, neck, speed, boots, and then like either health or attack percentage ring. Not doing it that way means you're going to always have some kind of like deficiency somewhere. Yeah, chest is definitely low roll. You could definitely replace chest. I'm trying to think like what else could we do here? Like maybe if you went crit damage neck, you would pick up 27. Actually, I think I do go crit damage necklace and then try to change up the actual body piece here. Yeah, like if you're watching this Jupiter like on YouTube, like on the VOD, like you can just like peruse through the entire VOD. Like we've reviewed like 8 or 9 Huayongs. I think that I would not drop this to base speed though. I would look at evaluating a different necklace, different body, and seeing what that brings to the table for you. Right, because then maybe you might be able to have all your damage locked up in the necklace, which means that your left side can focus less on damage and more on HP. All right, and then the last one we'll do here is Sputnik. He has the joke one here. He says, here's the thing. It's a Marvel Rivals joke. It's Pratzet Eaton. Dude, that body piece! It's a big ass rock. Yup. Ring is kind of bad. I'll be real with you. I think the right side gear is kind of mid. The left side is good though. I think it just needs more. You want more flat health on your right side, I think. All right, guys. This is where I gotta peace out. Like I said, I have somewhere I have to be in an hour, and it takes like 35, 40 minutes to get there through rush hour traffic. So this is where I gotta leave you guys, right? If you are in my Discord, stay tuned. Tomorrow, we'll do something for stream. I don't really know if I want to necessarily do Wheel of Misfortune again, but we will have some kind of late night stream activity. Somebody was jokingly saying, should I just try to beat Silver Surfer? Who knows? I'll post something about it tomorrow night. Maybe we do other gacha games. Maybe we do like Zenless, or maybe we do Marvel Rivals. We'll do something fun tomorrow night. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.